be on.
Yeah, I mean, now it is. He'd have a good time, very, very good time. I heard you're prejudice hunter.
About?
Let me know too.
Men of streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're prejudiced against the men of streets.
I don't know if it's prejudice or I think he has a supremacy choice.
Well, I just hate bums.
He believes that they are lower.
He's in favor of the 401k folks and the ones with a taxable income, but not the ones panhandling.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think if anybody is okay with them, you've never met one.
No. A bum?
Yeah. If you're okay, if you like bums,
Oh,
you've never
yeah,
met one. Yeah. Or how about this? If you met a bum and you're still okay with them, then you were giving them something.
Yeah.
If you've ever talked and hung out with a bum and not have anything to offer him, you will know a real bum. Mm-hmm. Until then, if you go over there and with a nice T-shirt or the girls that go out and hand out the beans or whatever in the park, leave the can in there, put on a regular thing of clothes and go over there and see what bums are really all about.
Yeah.
They're completely different. Ask somebody in prison what they think about his cellmate. And ask anybody that interviewed the guy, two completely different stories. Because they'll sit there and, I was a victim of a rough childhood. But then you get in jail, man, I fucking snap that motherfucking neck.
Yeah, I hate bums just because I feel like they. Actually, I wouldn't say that they are useless to society.
No, they definitely serve purpose. I mean, you've got to have somebody to throw bread at.
Yeah. But I like having.
Take that
But
pigeon.
But I like having them there because it lets me know how great I actually have it. That I'm actually, somebody can call me a piece of shit, but when I see a bum, I know I'm not that much of a piece of shit.
It's like, because I know my standard of a piece of shit. It's like, I'm not doing that bad.
Like, if I don't do the dishes, I'm a piece of shit. Come on, bro.
Yeah, at least I got dishes.
At least I got dishes.
I'm about to drop your ass off at Tent City, and you about to see what a piece of shit looks like before you start insulting me. Don't group me with these motherfuckers.
I grew up a very poor shithead kid, but I didn't know I was a poor shithead kid because that's just all I do. And so I would go skateboarding downtown, and I've been around bums my whole life, and they're nothing to feel sorry for.
Yeah,
They are actually. I've never met one bum, not one, that did not choose to be there. Mm-hmm. Like they shut a door to go out and be homeless.
Yeah.
They literally walked out of a door to go be homeless.
There's three good definitive moments in my life where instead of feeling any kind of remorse or like even wondering how you got here, I started instantly knowing how they got there, and I started seeking easy things in my vehicles to throw at them. Like things of no value.
I wouldn't do that, but
well, I mean, so there's three good moments. One was I got a foot-long Subway sandwich. All right, you know what a BMT is. Every motherfucker watching this knows what
it's got just enough weight on it to keep velocity.
Everybody knows what a fucking BMT is, man.
Yeah.
All right, everybody fucking knows staple sandwich. That is the shit that you can in poverty with that.
I don't know what the BMT stand for.
You can unify fucking religious groups with a BMT sandwich. I mean, besides people that don't, besides bitches maybe, but like, I mean, I went to offer this to this homeless dude. I just got it, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not hungry. I lost my appetite. Seeing him ruined it. I
was going to say that, but I was going to let you land the plane on that one.
I just ruined my.
I'll just give it to the cause. You know what I mean? And this motherfucker asked me what's on it.
Damn.
And I was like, dude, it's a BMT. It's like, I don't know, fucking bacon, mayo, tomato. I don't know what the
I don't
fuck's
know what
on
the
it.
fucking BMT stands for.
It's just got
I think it's
basic
just
shit.
bacon, meat, tomato.
Yeah, it's basic
No,
shit.
because you put
And
whatever you want on it.
Yeah, but here's it. Well, no, this was back in my simple sandwich days. It was just get the shit that's on it, enjoy it, and it was just I didn't even toast it. So it's literally just it's a cold cut sandwich, right? And I was just like blah 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 blah. This what's on it is like I don't really like tomatoes.
Pick it all.
And I literally, I think I was like 16. I was like, fuck you. And I just rolled my window up. And then another time was, I said, I don't have any cash on me. And this motherfucker pulled out a phone with a fucking Squarespace card reader on it.
Damn, dude, that dude's like invested.
Yeah. And then remember whenever I was 14 with the R6 and we were riding around when we shouldn't have. And then it felt weird because when have you seen the picture of me getting that R6?
Yeah. You were a little kid.
I looked like a fucking kid,
Yeah.
a fucking kid. All right, and I have
Like,
had
you look like Pokio.
40-year-old. I've had
Pokemon.
40-year-old men approach me at a gas pump. Hey man, you got like $20? This like. You are asking a fucking child for money right now. This has got to be a little. And I just stopped
That's
caring
sad.
for him. And so now it's like I will deliberately, if I've got cash, the off chance I do, I'll just wait until the light turns green. And I'll just dangle the money out the window and just drive off.
Dude, what
Like-
made me stop giving a shit about bums was it was a long time. I stopped. I have the last time I cared about a bum. Well, I've never really cared about them. It's just the last time I offered them anything. It's like, oh man, it was so long ago. But I was getting off on the highway, and there's a stupid ass bum with a sign that says "Anything helps."
You
please,
can
I'm
afford
homeless."
a $6 Sharpie, but
And so when I came by, I just saw like I had a bag of chips there, unopened. It was just some extra snack that I got, for myself, and it wasn't really a need, and so I just offered him a bag of chips. And when I rolled down my window, he came up and he put the sign down like, so hey, it's like waiting for me to give him something. And I pulled out a bag of chips. He's like, no. He kept walking by. I was like, you know what? Fuck you, dude. And so I just that was the last time, you ungrateful motherfucker. You had a sign that says anything helps.
And
the one thing I try to help you with, you don't fuck with that.
yeah, and then
Anything but.
Yeah, anything but food.
yeah,
Just
if it
want
isn't
money
if it,
for drugs.
if it isn't a pawnable item or
Yeah.
or cash, I don't want it.
Yeah,
It just
I've never been like sorry for him, or I've never felt sorry for him, and I've never felt empathy for him. But I've been around him my whole life, so I never developed a hatred for him. But they're just people that you see. You know what I mean? There's when you actually just talk to one of these guys, like when you know his name, you know what I mean? And you're just bullshit with him for 30, 40 minutes, and you see him a few times. Because in downtown, there's this place called Hemming Plaza that we would skate all the time. And this was just Tent City.
yeah, where during the day typically it'd be like hot dog stands, businessmen.
Not then. Not back then. It was their house, but it had really nice handrails. And
Help them
Yeah.
get up the steps
Yeah,
while they're tweaking.
Downtown used to not be all that great back then. But you see the same faces. And you just eventually just start talking. If you saw anybody 5 times, you'd say hey to them eventually. If you were surfing and you see the same guy 5 times, you'd say hey. And but when you start talking to him and you just realize that there's nothing there to feel sorry for. There's nothing there to have empathy for. They literally chose to be there like you chose to come and skate here. Like they're funny, but not in like, man, this dude's awesome. It's funny. Like
You can get them to do tricks with McDonald's and breakfast. Go up to them with like
you
a
literally can.
hot cake splatter. You can get them to do tricks.
This dude, they are. The one thing I noticed about homeless people is when it came to push through or quit, they all chose quit. Not one of them sat there and said, I'm going to just fucking make it. I'm going to make it. They're the most weak-minded people.
I don't know, man. Some of them don't even do the push quit. They just...
Or don't even try.
Yeah, just like, I mean...
You didn't even try to quit.
See, if you don't set expectations, you can never disappoint or fail yourself.
Yeah.
So they just like... Not only did they not jump, they didn't even walk up to the ledge. Actually, fuck, they didn't even like get up out of bed to go to the ledge.
Yeah. I guarantee you, everybody in the world knows somebody like a bum. That is just the first sign of oppression. They fall.
Yeah, I think the next person that I see as a bum that I wouldn't, the first person that I would know personally would probably be Max.
He's put it pretty close. Worst example is Josh.
Yeah,
Josh would be the first one I think would be a bum.
Yeah, he's the first one that comes to mind, but he's definitely the strongest one. Because he's a guy literally with like, he ain't even got a good license.
He's already slept in the street. He was drunk, but he's already slept there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the dude that, you know it's bad whenever you take like food stamp money and go buy a tent from Walmart. Like,
Yeah.
like
I'll buy you
bad.
$40 worth of groceries if you give
That
me
dude-
$20.
that
and
dude-
that's how you know it's shit, when you buy a tent and you sit behind some bar and sleep there and then get jumped by other bums.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
you don't belong here.
You're not shitty enough.
I used the wrong word earlier. I said oppression. I meant fuck now. I forgot.
Adversity?
Adversity. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I was about to
guess you
say,
can use
oppression like implies actual challenges and
Well, I
things
mean, and that-
intentionally putting you down. I mean, it's
I can use that word too. So it's like a.
nah. I don't
but
believe in that word.
I mean, every day something comes to you that was not of your doing, but you are in control of how you respond to it. You know, so but them is just like, it's just too much information for them, for their drive to give a fuck. Mm-hmm. You know, so there's just nothing to feel sorry about. And if you ever, anybody that feels sorry for a homeless person, dress down, because it's always the people of upper classes that feel sorry for homeless people.
There's only one homeless dude I've ever met that I thought was cool as fuck.
Oh, they're all cool.
No, like extra fucking cool. Like I know
Extra cool.
no, like
Like their status bars.
so without saying why I was speaking with them, because it would what I do. But there's one in my city who is fucking crazy.
Hell yeah.
Takes
legit crazy?
yeah. So he does like psychedelic mushrooms and like weed. So it's like it's bare minimum shit, but he's also fucking crazy.
Does he
Also
run that shit?
schizophrenic.
Is his
He made himself. But like this was the guy that coded Mortal Kombat. He's one of the fucking creators of Mortal Kombat.
Is this,
And he went fucking crazy.
what's his name? Because I don't buy it. I don't believe that.
I think it's some Asian dude.
An Asian, a homeless Asian.
He sleeps in his car and shit. And then one day they finally got him medically, like it's Georgia's equivalent of a Baker Act. It's called a 1013.
Yeah.
And they got him medically treated, and then they wanted people to go and look at the car because they thought there'd be some shit in there.
No.
There wasn't, but like
But a homeless Asian.
no, he wasn't there. He was over in this place called I don't always forget the name of
Oaks.
it. No, it's up in Brunswick Gateway. It's like a psych ward for
Okay.
those people. And yeah, he was up there getting treated for like rehab and shit. But no, he's fucking crazy. I think he still actually has some good cheddar too left over.
Yeah, he would be an anomaly.
Apparently, he's been there for years in that city. Never knew. He's like, you'd never know. But yeah, one of the creators of Mortal Kombat is just running around Southeast Georgia, just fucked up.
Talking to trees and shit.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. Apparently, that everybody else knows his name. I only had one encounter with him. They were just like, you know who that was, right? I was like, why the fuck would I know what a tweaker in the back of a fucking Corolla is? Why the fuck would I know who that is? It's like, that guy made Mortal Kombat. He was one of the people I was like, no way. So that's the guy.
I get his autograph.
I still
but he
don't
forgot
feel.
his
I still
name.
don't feel bad for him because he didn't take advantage of the.
No, he did. He just spent it in other ways. Most people like invested in shit.
He still put himself there.
He
Still
just
put himself there.
that was his success.
The same reason somebody doesn't feel sorry for some white trash dude that
He could have just stopped
lives in
at
the
white.
fucking lives in the fucking bushes somewhere. That the same people that look down upon the white trash dude driving the F-250 that lives in the country, he put himself there. But you won't feel sorry for that dude, but you'll feel sorry for the guy who literally, when you see a homeless guy, you have to understand that you are looking at someone that has that's literally burnt every bridge that's ever been made.
Yeah, and just think about how many bridges I would have to burn
Yeah.
for me to be homeless.
Yeah.
Because I got you and Mom. Gavin, I know probably he wouldn't fucking.
Let alone Zio.
Yeah, and Zio. And, and then I got, Mimi. I got all my aunts.
You know, Matthias would always let you be his bunkie.
Yeah. Like the amount of, I got my sister. I got, dude, there's
Friends.
so many people. Like even now, Ashley's family, has accepted me as their own. If I ever go, like
You've got
shit hits
multiple
the
states
fan.
and houses.
Yeah, like and it didn't take that much effort.
Even me,
I'd imagine the amount of effort that you have to go through. Like you have to really work.
you have
to burn all those fucking bridges.
If somebody I don't know wants to come to my house, my first question is, do they take shit? Because I don't want my shit taken.
Yeah.
Well, just think about
There's consequences for that.
just think about like me being your dad. Like I'm the last person that's gonna remove this bridge.
Yeah.
And think about how long it takes to burn a bridge. And then think of how long that takes to even get to me. You know what I mean? Because your dad is going to be, or your mom is going to be the last bridge that's burnt.
Yeah.
You've been burning other ones in the process. You know what I mean? But, dude, we're talking years. It would literally take years.
Of consistent no rebuild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, years, bro. Like, we're talking decade.
Yeah.
Like if you started when you were 16, I'd probably be like, God damn.
Yeah. If I was 16, if it was like going to shit when I was 16, it probably wouldn't. I'd have to be like at least 36 years old.
Yeah.
36, about to be hitting 40. Like for everybody to just give up on me.
I grew up with shit parents. And they weren't on the other side of the bridge, but there was still a bridge. You know what I mean? It was just an unmanned bridge. You know what I mean? It was
Nah, that was just two different things of land that where there's some water.
Yeah, it's
in
like,
between.
hey, you're welcome, but there ain't no bridge here. You gotta go around.
You got two
Yeah.
shit options there. And it's like it doesn't matter the difference in class. It still takes the same amount to burn a bridge, man. Some might have like made out of weaker string or whatever, but it takes a lot, dude. It takes a lot to like legitimately make people turn around on you.
Now, there's a dude named Dalton Cheney.
He sounds like a douche.
Yeah, I mean his name.
There's never met a good
His
dog.
name's fucking Dalton. If anybody's watching this, his name's Dalton. You suck.
You're gonna have some hardships.
No,
That dude that Kylie dated, his name was Dalton.
Yeah, he was a piece of shit.
he,
Well, he was
no,
any guy that
he- he-
wasn't.
no, he was
your favorite dude.
No,
Yeah,
No,
no,
he
no,
he ended
that
up
was,
being a piece of shit because we found out he was Jewish.
No, dude, that's Gabe, bro.
No. I'm talking about the one before him.
Dalton was
Dalton-
Kylie's boyfriend
In
when she
sixth
was,
grade.
Yeah, the one I like was fuck, man, what's his
His
name?
name was
Evan.
Dalton.
No,
It's
isn't.
Evan. That's when you're thinking about.
Evan. Oh,
Evan.
that's right. Okay,
Evan
no, Dalton was a
was-
piece of shit.
No,
I
but-
redact my previous
No,
statement.
but this Dalton guy, his dad is a multimillionaire. Like straight up
It
multimillionaire.
makes sense to if you're a multimillionaire, it kind of makes sense to have a son named Dalton.
Yeah, I think it,
You get surprised.
Yeah.
yeah,
like
I think his dad.
When you become a millionaire, I'm like, fuck. All right.
I think his dad
Name
is
my son Dalton.
I think like over in Nevada or some shit. I think his dad literally owns a fucking hospital, like the very practice itself,
I know.
and then owns the land it sits on too. Like he's like fucking loaded. Like this guy, if he goes to that place, he uses the helipad there. Like he's that rich. And then apparently his mom has a couple of medical patents on some fucking cardiovascular technology or something, like some stents or whatever that go in your heart. Apparently she owns patents on them and has a couple of pediatric surgeon practices.
She receives a check.
So apparently,
Every time one of those things
so
are
both
used.
of his parents are fucking loaded, and he has like 6 brothers and sisters. Yet he's running around this part of Georgia, like just on the street, sleeping behind an abandoned Taco Bell. Like
That's something I've learned too. So I've spent the first part ridiculing rich people for feeling sorry for bums, but I think poor people need to get off rich people's shit back a little bit too, because they might not have a money problem, but most wealthy people I've met have a everything else problem.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, these people may not suffer from money problems, but they suffer from you problems. Every time they go out in public and anybody knows about them or anybody who meets them, any family members expect something of them, let alone people like you who think that you are entitled to this guy's tax money to pay for your government assistance thing. For some reason, these people can work 30, 40 years or something just because they were better than you at it. They owe you a slice in some way. Like, the fuck is that, dude?
Not only so, say like a bum, he has an alcohol habit, right? Well, rich people have alcohol habits too, but only they can afford them, and that's even worse.
Yeah.
See, they can do it with class.
But no, buddy, they can also. There's residual effects from it. You know what I mean? So say if rich dad, rich mom has a wine problem. A woman that drinks wine's already crazy. Now imagine being able to fund it, and then you got a rich dad that's got a liquor problem. That's a toxic environment to grow up in.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You know?
A divided household is far worse than anything else.
Or that is just somebody's arrogance that will just sit there and. So when you are witnessing someone, you are witnessing the results of actions, and every action has a side effect. There's a byproduct.
I feel like at some point the accountability will fall onto them. Like if it's a 22-year-old that has like basic life skills, they've just gotten into the world, so they have none of these skills because they haven't been taught. But whenever you're pushing 30, 35 fucking years old, you have been out in the real world longer than you haven't. So I think any inability to simply learn from anything that you've been through eventually has no other choice but to fall onto you. At some point, I mean, it's got to be taken away from the other party, especially if that party is still as successful 20 years later. At least they have their shit habits and shit mannerisms and characteristics, but to a certain degree, to where there's a level of success in a way of life that is just unacceptable to them, to where they're willing to at least function at some degree and hold themselves accountable long enough to perform actions to keep their life at a steady spot.
No, I think people just look at the wrong things. They just keep seeing rich Bill. He's just got everything figured out.
Yeah.
But he's a womanizer. He's probably has playthings on the side. His children should do what he says, not as he does. There's residual effects that there's a byproduct that comes with this. You aren't a great person in this area and a complete piece of shit in the other areas. You tend to be a piece of shit in all areas. You know? So I'd hate to grow up. Even if I had the choice, I would choose a poor family with morals than a rich family with none. And that's maybe it's because I've never been rich.
Yeah. Maybe you've never had to cry yourself to sleep on a personal yacht.
Yeah. That and I've never had the status of listen here, man, you do what I tell you. You know what I mean? I've always felt like I've had to prove it to you. You know? To where when
at least on some flip side, I mean, technically, I guess we grew up rich because how many people going to school, Hunter, told you that you had money? I don't know about you, but I was told that my family had money
Yeah.
so many fucking times
Yeah.
growing up. Even though these people saw us get dropped off in a 2003 expedition. It's
That's
like,
crazy, man.
dude, every single person that we went to school with called us rich kids.
Yeah, you guys are probably the poorest kids in school.
These are the people that were driving new cars to school. And
Yeah.
I was riding my skateboard. Apparently,
Yes.
we were all rich kids. Like kids that are wearing Gucci belts and shit.
Maybe it's just
I mean,
because you guys
I
are
wouldn't-
good looking.
I mean, I wouldn't say we were the poorest.
I don't think
Kids
we were
there,
poor. I
but-
don't think we were poor at all.
I just think we had
we didn't have
we were
crazy
the
shit.
only family that had a father that instead of putting, I don't even know how to put it.
And mom. Your
you
mom
put- you
did-
put
this
your
is mom,
money-
too.
You put your money into things of interest that are like I guess physical, surfboards, skateboards, motorcycles.
Yeah.
Those are the three examples that I can give. And while other people, they just put it into video games and
Shoes.
clothes and shoes and shit like
most,
that.
well, most
And so
parents,
we just had this persona of having a lot of money, but no, I'm sure that your family makes just the same amount of money. You just put it into other things.
Well, actually, I think the thing is that most parents spend their money on ways to get their kids away from them.
Yeah.
You guys spent your money
Yeah, that's a
on
good point
shit
too.
to do with us.
Well,
Yeah.
I think people spend money for society to think they have money. I'm more of a keep my $5,000 in a plastic bag rather than spend $5,000 on a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have money in a fucking paper bag before I spend money on a bag.
I just think
Yeah, to
also
hold no money.
I think
Because
also just
you spent
simply our perspective on shit is just way backwards. Like where some people would just be like, "Oh my god, I think it'd be so cool to have like imagine a whole closet full of like shirts and shoes and everything like that of all
Man,
this
I
cool
think
stuff."
much bigger than that.
And then well, us is we think of a shitty fucking garage, but imagine 30 sets of race tires on the wall. That seems pretty badass. That
Well,
kind of gets all
we
of
actually
us
have-
like semi-chubbed
we
right
actually have
now.
a whole tire stand
Yeah, we actually do have that.
for all of our used and new tires.
I'm pretty sure for us to all feel super successful, if we all owned 3 storage units next to each other that we rented for $80 a month, and inside of all of those was a motorcycle with the front and back tire on stands with warmers on it, we'd all feel successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there were race slicks on those tires with warmers on it, and neither of them were touching the ground, I guarantee
The
we
reason
feel
I
like
would-
we
on
were
a
on top of the world.
on a hydraulic lift.
The
You're
reason
goddamn
I
right.
would feel that way is because there's so many things that has to happen before that.
Yeah.
So most people be like, "Well, just go get that." Well, I'm not just going to go to get that and then
Dude, I'm trying to
Then have to sell it
I'm
later
stru-
because now I'm broke.
I'm struggling to pay fucking internet right now, my guy. You think we got money to go and order fucking $200 sets
Yeah.
of tire warmers that I literally don't use?
Yeah.
it's like I saw one of those cyber trucks the other day.
Dude,
And
those things are. There's one driving around St. Mary's. That shit looks so fucking goofy.
I don't know. I kind of like them. Believe it or not, I would never buy one. Don't get me wrong, but I decided I would buy one. But in just how we were talking about, people will just go and buy shit. They'll buy a $5,000 bag. Me, I wouldn't own that shit until I have a helicopter that lands me at it.
Yeah.
Because it's cool, but it's not that cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where like
I
I
just-
would
I didn't know-
50,000 gallons.
Dude,
of
the
fuel to
only
get
thing
this.
the only thing I find cool about those things, I didn't know how fucking massive they
Dude, them
were.
things are
Those things are
huge, man.
fucking huge. Have you seen one in person?
We seen them, but
Dude,
I
they're-
was next to one the other day, and
Same here. That motherfucker is huge.
it's the size of your mom's Tundra, dude. It is massive.
It is bigger than that. It
It is
is
huge.
fucking huge.
Like you have to walk to go. You're on a walk to get from one side to the other.
Like it is legit. Like
Yeah, no.
like
We're talking good 12 paces.
fuck that. Costco shopping carts look small.
I don't know the Costco grocery store.
Costco shopping carts is you're basically walking around with a fucking pallet jack with sides.
Oh, like at Home Depot and shit.
It's like a pallet jack with walls.
Okay.
It's so fucking. It's a big ass
Yeah,
shopping
you
cart.
can lean on it without hunching your back.
Yeah, dude, this thing's a good. It might be a good 20 paces.
Yeah,
It's long, dude. It's
like
long.
it would probably be 2 dashes on a pirate map.
Yeah, dude.
About 8.
One of those things that
About 8 top loader Whirlpool washer machines long.
That was awesome.
Dude,
Do I
those
look
things
fat
are
in this shirt?
those
I
things
gotta
are
ask that.
fucking huge.
Why is my camera so high up?
dude, your camera's literally the lowest out of all of ours.
Oh. Okay,
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're on about, but
yeah, just thought I looked fat again. The white t-shirt.
no, I just think they're goofy looking fucking trucks.
They're goofy. They're goofy.
I just find it funny that while they were doing a live test with them, they have failed in every aspect. Like
do you mean?
the windows, the shatterproof windows shattered while they were testing it.
Yeah.
The dent-proof doors dented while they were doing that. And then the off-road test, the mud fried the electronics in one.
No shit.
And completely destroyed
Hold on,
one
why
on the
would you
test.
want shatterproof windows?
Because it's supposed to be bulletproof.
The Cybertruck is supposed to be bulletproof.
It is bulletproof. To like up to a 9mm.
No, it can totally eat a Glock.
That would explain why Joe Rogan couldn't get an arrow through that thing. But why would you want shatterproof windows? Though?
Seems ignorant, huh?
Yeah.
Nothing like burning alive inside of a giant lithium-powered vehicle, and then you're just
Yeah, they're kind of there. Shattered windows were there for safety.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's kind of cool, but
Yeah, it's thug as fuck. Don't get me wrong, but that's what an armored Escalade's for. If I
Yeah.
wanted a bulletproof vehicle, I'd go get 2-inch thick glass ones that don't roll the fuck down in an Escalade. That's what I'd do. I'd presidential caravan that shit if I wanted something like
yeah,
that.
but if you're presidential caravan, why the fuck we even talking Tesla?
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm talking Escalade.
Yeah,
Fuck that. I want to be able to fill up.
yeah. I can tell you right now, if I'm somebody that needs a bulletproof car, I ain't driving this motherfucker. Bitch, you fucking drive.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting in the back. And it
Motherfucker,
ain't gonna be in the back of a Tesla.
I'm too busy tweaking being paranoid in the back of who's after me.
Like me, I'm already
I'm preoccupied.
I'm already prefer the back seat. You know, it ain't gonna be in the back of a Tesla.
No, I think the guy that owns one is either some master chief on base. I'm pretty sure we have an Indian multi-billionaire that lives in our city, and he has a Tesla Model X right now. I guarantee he's gonna get a Cybertruck as well. Just
I've been
because
driving a lot of Teslas lately, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
I like them. They're
cool as
they're
fuck.
smooth riding car. I just would never own one.
I would own one if it was for the right price point. This is my whole beef with Tesla is not the car; it's the people.
Yes.
Quit pretending you're doing something for humanity or the environment. There's nothing humanitarian about that fucking car, and there is nothing environmental.
I
about
think
that car.
I think a Tesla would be perfect for somebody like you, because realistically, if you got one of those chargers in your garage, you can literally just charge your car overnight.
I would get
You
one
hate
for
going to gas stations. You hate making stupid, pointless stops. You would charge that car maybe once a week, and
yeah, maybe, I don't know. I would buy the car because it's a cool car. Quit telling me that it's better than the environment. It's nowhere.
It's way worse.
It is horrible for the fucking environment.
Way
just,
worse.
Just say you like the car. There's
The
nothing
am-
wrong with saying
the
it's
amount
just a
of
nice
kids that had to mine for cobalt.
car. Yeah, and when you have the batteries alone, the cobalt mining, the coal mining that you have to do to fuel that fucking thing, you know.
what do you think? We're using EV dump trucks to bring this shit in?
This
How do
shit
you
all
think
comes
these
from-
boats make it across the fucking globe, dude?
They're just a really cool car, and I don't understand why that's not good enough. You shouldn't have to explain why you bought a fucking car. You fucking like it. Quit telling me that it's better the environment. Motherfucker, an F-350 is better on the environment than that fucking piece of shit right there.
Yeah.
And
It's just a cool car.
I just hate that people are trying to like. It's like taking a Zio's car. It's a Camry. it's nothing other than a Camry. Whenever you start putting louvers on the motherfucker, bagging it, wrapping it, spoiler, and putting a shitty fucking slip-on it, that's whenever you start losing touch with reality. People are bagging these cars, putting time attack spoilers on them, and calling it a build. It's like, dude, it's a nice car. Just roll with that. Is you're never gonna sure, that thing would smoke the fuck out of my Corvette all day. Who gives a fuck? You will look. This is entertaining. Oh yeah, I just beat that car. Or the dude that lost with pride. To me, that's actually enjoying what the car is made for. But guess what? If I'm driving to Jacksonville every day, I'll leave that motherfucker at home. I'll bring my Tesla. I will simply put that thing in cruise control and enjoy my ride.
The thing I like the most about that Tesla, first of all, they scoot. They're actually pretty quick.
Yeah, they're quick cars. They'd smoke the fuck out of my shit.
The thing that I like the most about it, though, and this might just be my age or whatever, but I don't like hearing the outside noise. I like to shut a door and hear as least amount of the outside world as I can.
Yeah.
Me and Hunter literally have multiple cars where we hear our exhaust, the bolts holding them, the road.
Even the bolts are screaming.
Like, I'm telling you, there's so much noise in our cabins that whenever you just get in,
man.
dude, whenever me and Hunter's cars braking were the best thing that happened when Zio was deployed. Taking that Camry every day.
Yeah.
Bro.
Migraines went down.
Dude, it was just, bro, we'd get in the car and both of us be sleeping. Dude,
so relaxed.
We'd sit there with like YouTube playing and shit, and we'd just sit there and eat a Subway sandwich on our way to the shop.
Yeah.
Dude, life was great,
and
man.
able to listen to each other at a very low volume.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yell at each
then
other.
meanwhile, we fixed our cars in the whole ride. We're both sitting there like, did you hear that grind? Not the second or third grind. Third to fourth grind wasn't there before.
Yeah.
It's a headache, man.
I had a Mustang in my early 20s.
Your Ute.
And that was the car that did it for me. I was just like, don't get me wrong, it's really cool and fun to go rip ass in it. But when you're just sitting there going home from work and you just stop yelling.
It's like it's cool. It's cool on the way. It's cool on the way to work. Bro, but on your way home, you just
that drive home with the morning dew outside, the heater on, and nothing but shitty FM radio. Yeah. Dude, that shit'll have you feeling a certain kind of way about everything in existence. Your drink tastes a little worse. The traffic's a little denser. The headlights are a little brighter. Yeah. It's just everything fucking sucks.
I do think though you gotta have. Now, it might be the reason I don't care about that kind of stuff because I have motorcycles, and there's nothing there that's gonna replace that, you know. But maybe having that outlet makes it to where I'm okay with not ever having that ever again. Like I just want, like my idea of a nice car is an AMG, a nice Suburban. Mm-hmm. You know, I'd take one of those Model X's. I just would do it for the simple fact that it's just a cool car.
I think me and Hunter would like it if you got at some point in the future, you got a shitter car to fuck around with us with.
Oh, dude, I'll totally do that, but it's for play.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what our cars are for. We just made the shitty decision of
having
it being our daily drivers.
All right, so I'll poke holes in that. So it's for play. I bet you won't bumper car that bitch.
No, because it's my
for play.
No, that's why. That's why.
It's my daily.
Did you miss that other half of that?
And did you not hear me? All right, so it's not your daily driver. Would you bumper car that bitch?
Oh, not my daily driver? No.
Yeah. It depends. Is it paid off?
Yeah. I mean, if I don't
giggle, you get the giggle.
Yeah.
So I can get me a 96 Miata, and me and you can go fart around with some piece of property in your WRX or your Corvette, and you'll just let me tag the side of it.
I mean, why not? Like if it's straight up,
it's on.
Yeah. If it's like if my car,
I didn't say that.
I don't want you in my car.
I ain't doing that shit.
Yeah, like,
fuck that.
Like if I bought that car specifically for a complete gag vehicle, like if I didn't want to track it or anything, like if I wanted to buy that car, which is what I want it for, is like basic street race purposes and like some track performance, then I wouldn't want to do it to it. But if I bought it for literally fucking gags, then I'd put off-road tires on that motherfucker, and I'd do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
if-
you didn't buy it for gags. You bought it for all those other reasons.
If it's for track purposes, then no, because
But you
what the
didn't
fuck am
buy
I
it for
going to
track purposes. You bought it because you thought it was a really cool car.
Yeah. And
So,
no, it's
are
I
you
wanted
gonna-
to do
are
it for
you-
street race.
Are you going to let me just...
For a street race, no, because I'd like a unfucked body and I want it to be beautiful.
Yeah, so that's why I'd just take the old Miata. Because I
Yeah.
don't care what it hits.
I would buy an old Miata.
Yeah, if
just
I want,
for
if
shits and
if we
gigs.
wanted actual like shit to giggle car, but whenever I said me and Hunter would like for you to get a shits and giggles car, it'd be a car that's a performance car, so we can all. Because I think it'd be cool for us to do some circuit racing in cars too.
If I did circuit racing in cars, I'm either going to go Miata because taking a... It's like that old motorcycle saying, it's better to be a...
It's better to
ride a slow bike fast and a fast bike slow.
Yeah.
And putting
You want-
shitty tires in a Miata, you can outperform those tires pretty quickly, you know? So I would probably have more fun doing that. But I think that if I went, I think if I was to buy me a car that I wanted to drive in anger around a circuit, I might have to go either Porsche, which I would feel odd, because any Porsche that's gonna make me excited, we're talking 40 grand.
You can get it like an old Porsche now for no more than $6,000.
Old Porsches aren't that fast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to buy a salvaged nice Porsche, you know, and you're still 40 grand, 50 grand, and there comes a reality that there is going to be a day where that thing is chucked into a wall. And are you okay with a $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 car on fire up against the wall?
I guess it
you know?
depends on how much how much money means to you.
So I think I probably
if you get to a certain stature in your life where 40 grand is literally just that's how much you spend each month anyways, you know.
I think a
it's-
really nice Porsche would be a very nice thing to drive around a circuit, but I much prefer to just ride outside of its capabilities.
Yeah.
Just make it a little bit more interesting.
And so at that point, it's like, do you need a 50, 60? I can understand if I'm going club racing or something like that and trying to get a trophy here.
Yeah, like
But if I'm just-
endurance.
but if I'm just trying to just have a track day and have fun, I think I'd much rather just have anything that I can ride past its capabilities. So I'd probably end up going, but you have to have something there that is at least fun. So I'd probably go with like a Mustang or something like that.
Well, like there's whenever I was like shopping for cars and stuff like that, there's actually some pretty cool Porsches you can get into for around the same price as me and Hunter's cars, and they perform in the same area. Yeah,
I don't know, dude. I drove a Porsche the other day and I think it was a fucking turd.
I mean, they're not really going to be the fastest.
It
But you
was a
can-
convertible, so I don't think that probably
No, I
handled
would
all that
never
great
buy a
either, but
convertible.
I would take your Subaru overall. Every Porsche I've drove, I would take your Subaru over.
I would too. But there's
Actually,
a 2002.
that fucker's car is awesome. Hunters.
Yeah, a 2002 Cayman.
That's what I drove the other
No,
day.
not
not
a
a Cayman.
Cayman.
Cayman's the 4-door ones, right?
Yeah, no, hold on.
Talking about the, I think it's with the, was it the Camaro?
Yeah, Camaro.
No, Carrera.
Carrera,
there we go.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
2002
what it is.
Carrera you can get for like 18, and those
What
are
was
those
what
are
year
flat
was that
sixes.
Carrera we had at the shop the other day? That's probably like a 12 or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
That thing was a fucking turd.
I never drove that one.
Yeah, they're not that fast, but I mean,
It was a turd.
they
dude.
handle good.
That would be the only caveat, but man, a Miata handles really good. I think people underestimate a Miata.
Yeah, no, and plus,
Or a fucking Mini, as gay as they are, dude, them things are nice as
I
shit.
love those mini. Remember, that was the first car I wanted. I wanted
Dude,
that.
Them things they handle
Those
like
little
crazy.
Cooper S's, dude, are cool as shit.
Yeah.
People slap superchargers on those things all the time.
They've turned into like
push
a
a
wine.
modest 400 little horsepower out of that thing. It's insane.
They've turned into like this car company that women that drink wine drive. But
And whenever you slap a town and country like barn style door on the back, you lost my interest. I'm sorry, my guy.
When I see a woman driving a Mini Cooper, I think they're the woman
Okay.
that cheats on their husband and then blames it on them.
yeah, or they're
Yeah, they
or they're
seem
on
like-
the way to a used bookstore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they have a membership
Barnes
at
and
Barnes and
Noble.
Nobles.
Yeah,
yeah, they don't fuck with Books A Million.
Yeah, just like
because they just do commercialization.
just like 50 Shades of Grey, and I'm just like, I have the platinum card. And just I think you can get some cool stuff.
But it sucks because they're really cool. Cars.
If you were to get a little track car to hang out with us, do you think you get a manual?
Yeah, I can't. I don't. Yeah, I have this problem with the computer telling me when I should shift
Yeah,
because it's those
Yeah, if I want to
those
send
milliseconds that can ruin.
Yeah, 'cause it's
a
like
second.
when you're-
if I want
coming out
to
of a-
send a cylinder head through the fucking block, I'd like to.
Yeah, it's mine.
Yeah.
But when it's like you're coming out of a corner and the moment that you step on the gas and you're having to wait for that thing to
Yeah.
shift into the gear that you hopefully that it's going to be in that you need,
Yeah,
because it's not always the gear that when you hit the gas that it's
I'm sure
going
if
to
you-
change to the proper gear that you need, and it's takes me out of it every time, coming out of a corner, because it can offset your fucking
Your
balancing
drive.
too.
That little millisecond.
A lot of time it can be hard to even judge when you're supposed to get onto the throttle, because sometimes you have to get onto the throttle sooner to accommodate for the
Yeah.
transmission lag.
but then that fucks up the suspension, and it's
Yeah.
like, so it's just that like little lag. It's don't get me wrong. I think you can find a way through it. But
Well, they have with paddle shifters.
I haven't drove one that's
Those C8s have a pretty impressive paddle
Yeah,
shifting
it's just,
system, but it's $100,000.
It's still it's quicker than shifting. Well, I will admit that.
Yeah,
But if you had enough seat time, it'd probably be fine.
Yeah, I also have an idea, just like, if I'm not here making money off this shit, I'm here to have fun and enjoy my car.
Yeah, dude. I want to barely have control of this thing.
Yeah, I don't want to be a witness to the track time. I want to be the person that sets it.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like if you're sitting there driving an automatic, you're just setting over the corner, and then you got your ECU doing all your braking, your shifting, and all that shit for you, and then your traction control. It just feels like it kind of takes away from it.
yeah.
I like going as fast as humanly possible, but where I'm at my happiest is when the lap time's actually slower and it's more erratic. You know what I mean? But because that's when you're like, I can only speak on motorcycles. I've never tracked a car, but like I've had the rear end chopping sideways going into a corner. And I'm like, this is fucking awesome. This is fucking awesome. But it's like 3 seconds slower.
You may have passed me, but I got that shit.
Yeah,
You feel like you're
I may
just
have
like,
lost 6 seconds on turn 8, but I totally beat you on the brakes.
It's so fun, dude. It's so
you see
fun.
how I passed you in the corner? You passed me out of the corner, but I passed you in it.
They don't know me, son.
But it is so fun because you feel like you're in constant threat of your life,
Yeah.
or serious injury. For just you think you're gaining just that
Yeah.
tenth, that little tiny
Dude,
hundredth of
the-
a second on this corner to the next
The
corner.
amount of time I've been disappointed on the time because I thought I was fast as fuck,
Yeah.
but I was actually making it worse.
you
Dude,
thought you thought you were gaining 100th per corner, but you were actually losing a full second per corner.
Yeah.
Dude, those fucking days on the 50s will teach you something. You know those
Dude,
laps
man.
where you're just like, dude, that fucking sucked. Dude, that's the fastest lap of the day.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
The
way.
50s,
Yeah.
the mini bike racing is a perfect example of slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Mm-hmm.
And the tighter you can keep this thing, the less,
Yeah.
the faster this
Dude,
thing's gonna be.
I just think it's funny. Like me and Hunter, while like watching you, sometimes we're just like, dude, this motherfucker is flying right now.
and crazy.
And then we're just like, dude, he is fucking flying. You'll come back and just like, dude, that was fucking shit.
Yeah.
And just like that is the fastest lap of the day
Can't get
so
this
far.
bike to start. It's weird, man. It's so if it looks slow, it's probably pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're just sitting there like if we had pit interviews with you, like, the suspension, feel like it preloaded a little bit too much, and just like, dude, this guy was fucking flying. That was a perfect lap.
Ungrateful bitch.
And then he learns his lap time, and he's just like,
That's not so bad.
the bike was performing perfect. It's a great performing bike.
The throttle was a
Molto
squishy.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I would get something. As much as I would love to go fast, I would much rather get good at something bad. So I would much rather make a Miata fast as fuck
Yeah.
than to take a billet, whatever the fuck that Mustang
Yeah,
is,
a Bullet.
an $80,000 Mustang, and make it slow as fuck.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that Miata just screaming for help.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a self-rev matching Mustang Bullet or a Miata that's twin turboed with no fenders, bumper, or hood?
Oh, yeah, I want a roll cage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it has to have a fucking roll cage. It has to have
And
a
no
roll cage.
rev matching, and you are not good at heel towing.
Dude, I would take the Miata with a centrifugal clutch.
Yeah.
Have a $15,000 dog box in that bitch.
Like it could the 0 to 60 is like 18 seconds, but that bitch, the shift is nanosecond. Dude, it's like
That motherfucker's almost shifting before you hit it.
yeah, you're in
sitting
third
there-
gear before you get to 60. The longest 0 to 60, but the shortest shift.
Yeah.
I promise you, my straightaway speed is subpar, but I guarantee I'll be in power band fast.
Because it's kind of hard to get out of it. You're kind of always there. It's the best traction control because you just full floor it. You know, it's always got traction. Like my car would just be shitty on every entrance to every quarter.
Remember, if you ever get a Miata, we're gonna have to check the gauge.
Check the gauge. I'm just gonna have gauges everywhere that go to nothing. Dude.
Yeah, you're gonna have a gauge for each tire pressure.
Yeah, this is the one that tells the time in
gauges.
Australia.
My Miata will come into the corner completely sideways. As soon as it comes out of corners.
Run faster.
That's my favorite part. Is just I hope this fucker stops.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, and
anyway.
you get to read a book while you're going up to the next corner.
30 seconds.
Look like fucking.
Check the mirrors and
Look
shit.
like fucking Joan Gerard.
I hope I don't spill my macchiato in the next corner.
But your eyes are like that fucking open on the
Yeah.
entrance. You know.
Yeah.
This
The
is
fuck
not
was his
gonna stop.
comparison? The blind shoemaker.
I would have a 120 horsepower motor with $120,000 brakes.
Dude's got 6 pistons on the front. He's got 1,200 brake horses.
Got carbon fiber disc brakes.
A $20,000 set of GT500 carbon fiber wheels. And he's got 1,200 brake horsepower with 160 to the crank.
But it's got 18 horsepower driving the sucker.
Yeah.
Goddamn right. The only thing this thing is fucking spinning is the clutch.
Still got stock clutch.
It's cool, man. I make my time up on the brakes. I'll be cool.
That motherfucker hits the brakes, the chassis just goes.
Fucking wheels come off.
The seat goes through the dash.
That's what I'm about, man. I gotta go. That would be the main thing I want is the clutch.
Oh yeah, the centrifugal clutch.
Clutch.
That should be gangster. Here, let's look at some quick prices online. That's what I'm gonna.
Everything I've seen is like 15 grand for them things.
Well, like here, I'm gonna search up a couple of things.
But if I'm gonna have that kind of clutch, I gotta have some real power into it.
So, I think realistically, I think we all agree that we would always want to go supercharger on shit because everybody does turbos.
Yeah.
But I think for a Miata, you definitely want to do that. So let's look at
Yeah, you wouldn't even be able to get it up to the speed.
supercharger kit for 370Z. All right, so let's look at the prices for this.
That's cheaper than the clutch.
So realistically, Hunter, you would
6 to 7, 6 to 8.
yeah. So and plus all like supporting mods and basic stuff, you'd have about $10,000 into this, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll do for a C6. You know, so you're
About the same.
yeah.
Maybe
So
a little bit more.
I'd be doing something like this. I don't want to do a pro charger that goes on the side. I want that big, fat, juicy motherfucker that sits up on top, right?
Yeah.
And then, so you're looking at $10,000, and this right here
The
is
Pro Charger, you can actually drive it like normal still too.
yeah, but that's gay. So we'll do twin turbo, which is even more expensive than superchargers because a twin turbo kit for Hunter's car runs about 13 grand. And-
Actually, I don't think so.
Well, he's about to Google it.
well, here,
Actually,
well,
I don't think so.
well, I was just let's see. Yeah, it's still about the same price.
Yeah, but then you got to tune it.
Yeah, but
well, if you,
you
look
run
at-
through-
Well, you got to tune a supercharger too, though.
Yeah, but you run through nightmare shit with twin turbos. Twin turbos are really hard
Yeah.
to set up on cars. But then
Yeah.
we'll do twin turbo kit for Miata.
Don't exist.
No, it does. Look at this.
Dude, all
Look
right.
at this.
What's
This is why. This is why.
Dude, what's a supercharger for it? Because I like hearing the whine. Dude.
But look at that.
Yeah.
You can build 6 of these fucking engines.
Yeah, but the result of Hunter's twin turbo is his car. He has 700 horsepower. My twin turbo a Miata, I got 250 horsepower.
I mean, you'd be able to push a modest 350.
Yeah, I'm good.
350 horsepower.
I'll just put a 5.0 motor in that bitch.
Yeah, no, right.
Yeah.
I would just throw.
Drop a small block in it. That supercharger.
Yeah, so maximum of $4 grand.
Dude, I just like the sound.
That's a
But
fucking
I
turbo.
wonder if you can drop a small block in it.
That's a fucking turbo, isn't it?
No,
No, that's a pro
the same,
charger.
yeah.
It looks like a pro charger. Yeah.
Yeah, that's supercharger.
I don't know what any of this shit looks like.
That's a really simple fucking kit.
Yeah.
You could definitely install that in probably like 5 hours, easily.
Yeah, but I know where a battery is.
This shit is real.
I don't know anything about them. I can just ride them.
Yeah, see, also turbocharging a car that is not set up for it, it's a fucking nightmare too.
Yeah, but I'm sure you're gonna have to do pistons, valves, fuel pumps, all these things.
Why? You can just go to a junkyard and buy another Miata engine for like $600.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you
Yeah,
build one?
because I don't want to work on it.
You don't. Just keep attaching it to the next one. You could spend a
Every
week
time-
of your
No,
life
you don't understand.
and thousands
if I have
of dollars
to open
of
the hood
parts.
on a car, I don't like it.
I think it'd be fun.
I like to open the door and get it, drive like crazy, and that's it.
All right. Then you're stuck with 114
Just with it.
horsepower.
See, I just think
But I'll put the brakes
this
on
is
it.
this is why
I only gotta
Miatas.
do that once.
This is why Miatas are just gangster as fuck, dude. It's like you can have a twin turboed or supercharged Miata with fully track ready and technically built for less than $8 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I just want to get really nice brakes. I think if I did light wheels, like extremely light wheels, with the size of rubber you have on your Z, I might not even have to ever let off the gas.
Yeah. You don't even need the brakes.
So
Just make that suspension.
So for Hunter to
super-
get a big brake kit just for his fronts is $2,500, $2,600,
yeah.
and then it's literally half the fucking price.
Yeah,
Dude.
dude.
It's so
I'm going Miata, man.
it's so much cheaper.
Yeah.
I think I'm
then-
gonna go Miata, and just maybe hook nitrous bottles to it or something. Yeah. Just for
then-
the exits, you know.
And this is whenever shit starts getting fucking stupid. In the same set of shit,
That's slotted though.
Yeah, the ones that for 370 that I Googled for 2,500 for the fronts.
Oh, they were also slotted? Mm-hmm. Wow.
$4,300.
See, this is my most important part right here.
And then let's see.
Down.
Well,
that suspension.
that looks like it's all four, though.
Yeah, that one's probably all four. And then for the C6, this is a pretty cool package. But there's no need for me to get this because I already have drilled rotors because I have a Z51 package on mine. So I wouldn't even really need it. But I think price-wise, stuff like that, it's like you could fully build your engine.
Are they
And-
seeing us or this?
They're seeing that.
this, but I swapped it back already, so yeah, it's back on.
Yeah, we're just simply looking at the prices of stuff like that. I just think it'd be cool for you to get into something like that. And I think all of us, I just say fucking throw a Corvette engine in it.
If I was just gonna buy something that was just for that, I would personally prefer Subaru. But getting into just a track car, no titles, no nothing. Even that kind of Subaru cost me some serious money. To where I can get something like Hunter's.
Let's
Pretty
be honest,
decent amount.
the money that Hunter's put into his, with how long his gears are, how well it handles. I mean, don't get me wrong, your car is plagued with problems, but all cars that are our cars' ages are plagued
Yeah,
with
it's
fucking
an
problems.
09. I'm now seeing the wear of all of it. Now I'm just the unfortunate buyer that's now replacing all the shit that's
Yeah,
now
just, like-
seeing its age.
I mean,
You know?
we're closing in on 20 years old on our cars. Wires go bad, electronics go bad. Some of the parts, because yours was completely untouched, are still the original parts on there that came with it, that have been
Yeah.
shipped overseas, sat in ports for years. You know,
I don't
parked
even
in
need
somebody's
all of
garage. You know,
I can just do like a one that ain't even been fucked with. Because the one trump card I got is that you got to drive yours home, and I don't. So if you see me coming anywhere near you, you're gonna get the fuck out of my way because you know I'm not stopping this bitch. So I got a trump card. I can go without less power because I don't care. I don't care what happens to this thing. You guys got to care about yours.
Yeah.
yeah, and that would be the difference. Like,
There might be one day where I just don't give a shit about it, you know?
and that'll be whenever this car is literally only whenever I feel like taking it out.
I just picture driving a car because me coming from a motorcycle world, like a car doesn't scare me. You know what I mean? Like that is, I will just be complete full send everywhere. I got a fucking bubble around me.
You might have just not been in the right car that puts the power down.
No. I mean, I don't fear outbreaking myself. I don't fear this thing spinning around. I don't fear it flipping.
Oh yeah, the repercussions are
So much
nowhere
better.
close to as bad.
Yeah.
5-point harness, roll cage. What the fuck is gonna happen?
Yeah, nothing's
As
gonna
long as
happen.
this bitch don't catch fire, I'm good, man.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
even that, you've got quick release seatbelts and shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get knocked
If
out,
I'm if I'm on a track, I'm keeping a fire extinguisher on me.
mine would just be out of reach.
Fuck that. That bitch is gonna be
I
sitting
mean,
there mounted right next to me.
I wouldn't drive like I don't have a soul or anything, but it's like when you wait the last minute, hit the brakes on a motorcycle, you got to make sure you're good with this decision.
Yeah.
You know? To where in a car, it's like, because even if you run off track on a motorcycle, you still have that to contend with too. You know, to where in a car, you're just like, oh, shit. Matter of fact, you can just let go of the steering wheel. You just kind of
Yeah, just let it do its thing. Yeah.
you just hold your arms like this and just let the thing do what it's doing. You know?
Yeah. On a motorcycle, you're kind of just, you're hoping that you didn't break anything when you get up, you know?
I'm not even scared on a motorcycle until I hit grass.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because that's
Yeah,
whenever
I'd
your knees
rather-
start catching in the
Yeah,
dirt and
yeah.
shit. That's
I'd
whenever
rather-
your
I'd
elbows
rather-
start catching.
I'd rather drag fucking 50 yards
Yeah.
on
100%.
concrete than hit 10 feet in the
Because
dirt.
I'm just saying, I literally know what it's like to hit a brick wall basically at 40 miles an hour in a car. It ain't that bad. Like
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
recently involved in that.
I mean,
Yeah.
it sucks.
not
It
that.
sucks.
But
it's,
when we went to the MX track with the dirt bikes,
You saw what happened to Tyler. Tyler
hitting the
fell
dirt, bro.
over and broke his collarbone.
yeah, but he's just
Yeah, he wasn't even moving. He was doing 0 miles an hour.
yeah.
And fell over
Just
because he couldn't reach the ground and he broke his collarbone.
Yeah.
He was not doing anything epic.
That's gay.
It's just shit
It's
that
ironic.
fucking
though.
happens.
It's
man.
ironic. Like a car to me, I'm pretty sure there would be a speed at some point where you're like, oh shit, this is real. But I haven't seen that yet. You know?
Yeah.
So
All right.
I don't have fear of it.
I say we take a little break.
Let
Come
my
back.
dog out because
let
he's yelling
the
at
dogs
me.
out. And, see what behind on a minute.
Hello, hit it with a boogie. I'm gonna do your
All right, we don't need to drag this one on that long.
Nah. We back.
Yeah, we back again.
Back to your not so regularly scheduled program. You hear me?
All right, I wanted to ask you because I think this is going to be a good follow-up question to the topic we had before.
Cause.
And there's a video that I want you guys to see because I think it'll help kind of showcase the idea on what the premise behind the question is. And I want to start with you, Mr. Pops, man. What do you define as success? What are you doing?
My microphone is not on, or my headphones are not on.
It is.
It is.
My headphones don't work then.
Well, you should probably plug those in. You feel me?
How does it not work?
Because my headphones aren't working.
It doesn't.
Can you guys hear me in yours?
Yeah.
Mine's not working.
Unplug it, plug it back in. You muted it?
No, I accidentally hit the. I don't know. I hit the fucking
mute?
mute.
My
No, I
headphones
didn't
are-
hit the mute, but I think I hit the solo track, so they might have missed everything that we said. Okay, so I'll just restart it, and so because I got you guys a video that I want you guys to see, and the whole point of this question that I'm going to ask you is to kind of you understand the reason why I asked you this,
Okay.
and I want you to define success. What is success to you?
I actually thought about this the other day, and I told somebody actually my answer. I can't remember who it is now. I think success is when you are where you wanted to be. Because you can be successful financially, but have a shitty marriage, have a shitty, your kids hate you, no friends. I think success in a blanket term is just you are where you want to be. That would be my answer.
It's not the things that you find of interest you're able to do. The things you would like to have, you can go and get. You know, you're no longer putting things on back burners, setting things up years down the line. So never, I think everything you immediately want is yours. If you would like to get something, you can.
Yeah.
If you would like a day off, you can take it. You know, to me, in control of your personal time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. For
But
me,
you can even have a shitty, you can have control over your personal time, but have a shitty marriage still.
No, I'm
Yeah.
agreeing with you. I'm just adding on those things
yeah.
that I would
for
find
me,
fundamental.
for me, success is in a blanketed statement, a very vague statement would be happiness. If you are content with everything that you have in life,
Yeah, no longer seeking things.
yeah, you're no longer seeking anything. Like, for instance, Dustin, he's a successful person in his own right. Compared to John, from, an outside perspective looking in, from random people, they would see as Dustin not as successful as John, but I see them both as equally successful based on their own merit. Because Dustin, he saw everything out that he wanted to achieve, and he achieved it. He just wants the weed, he just wants his coke,
And his
He's
3D
got
printer.
his
Coca-Cola, not cocaine.
yeah, Coca-Cola. Let me clarify that.
Don't forget
Coca-Cola.
his 3D printer.
Oh yeah,
He's gotta
he
make
is
his
missing
helmets.
that. So he's not having.
He's not fully successful.
Yeah, he's not fully successful
Yeah,
yet.
he's got to be able to make his lamps and his helmets.
Yeah, but he's got his guitar, he's got his games, and he's got his wife. And those are the only things that he ever wants. And that's the only thing he ever really asked for, and he's got that.
Yeah.
And same for John. Like John, he's able to get almost anything that he really wanted.
John.
I don't think John will think he succeeded until he's established generational wealth for his family.
Yeah.
But even because me and John's a lot in this area is you always like I don't even realize the things I achieve because I'm too busy trying to achieve the other things, and it's like it never stops. So it's like you're to where I would say the difference between Dustin and John as Dustin is content and John is content, but he will always try to do more.
Yeah.
So it's he has what he wants. He's where he wants to be, but being in the struggle is where he wants to be.
He's happy. He's happy with what he's got, but his bag is never full.
His bag's never.
He just needs goals. He'll get bored of himself.
Yeah. But in that right, he's successful because he likes that predicament.
Yeah.
So it's well, for example, it's like you can have millions of dollars and you can't just go buy a city. So if that was your goal, then you'll never.
I mean, it depends on how big you want that city to be. But.
Elon is the only guy I know that can I'm going to go to the moon.
I think whenever you've reached that level of money, I'm sorry, but you've completed the game.
Yeah, if you aren't happy in your other areas, man, you aren't doing enough.
If you can literally buy your way to the moon, then if that isn't successful, I don't know what it is.
All right.
Yeah, just saying people view success as money oriented, and I've known enough ornery.
I'm glad you said that because this video that I'm going to show you guys
is this about to be some really ignorant millennial shit?
It's about to be some very ignorant shit. And so I just want you guys to watch it because I feel like it's pretty necessary.
Are we watching the full 19 minutes?
No. It's just a little snippet here.
You see the demographic.
So this podcast is called Fresh and Fit, but they took this video down, so I couldn't get to the original video. But other people have already made their own videos on it, so we're watching from somebody else that recorded their shit, and so
I've seen this one actually.
Yeah, they're kind of cool people. They kind of just get people of all demographics to talk about things, and one of their questions was what defines success. And then we get to this guy right here.
I just want to point out that I don't see a lot of fit people here.
Look, that's the whole point of this. So they asked what defines success.
Well,
we're going to listen to this guy.
A guy in the white.
So they're going from left to right, and these guys kind of have decent viewpoints, but realistically want to focus on this guy and this guy right here, and he's kind of good too. But yeah, these guys are what we're going to focus on.
And my definition of success is across the board. If you're not ripped, if you're not rich, if you ain't rare, if you don't stand out, if you ain't across the board successful, it doesn't mean fucking shit to me. If you got straight tits and you're in your Rolls Royce, you look like a fucking clown to me. I'm just laughing at your dumb fucking ass. But this is the whole fucking point. You have a weakness. Change it, motherfucker. How the fuck are you going to lead people if you don't realize your weakness is their way out? They're not going to listen to you. You're sitting there possessing shit that they don't want to have. So, I mean, this is what people say. Oh, it's not about the money. It's about family, Wes. It's about this, about that. Motherfucker, when you're making money, it's about the money. When it's family, it's about family. When you're at the gym, it's about muscle. Whatever you're doing, it's about that. There's no black and white life. It's the gray area. You have to be good at everything. That's the goal, to really excel in every area. I roll in most rooms with successful entrepreneurs, and it's pathetic. They'll have like a before and after picture of their fitness shit, and their after picture looks like their before pic. And I'm like, motherfucker, you're not embarrassed of this shit? Like, you have enough money, and that's what you put out. You're that big of a pussy. Like, I just can't get behind anything that's not done at a high level. So knock the one thing off the board first. Then the next thing, then the next thing. Jados is ripped, rich, and rare. I mean, the whole thing. What's rare mean to me? It means no vices. It means no drugs, no alcohol, no bullshit. Don't have to hide behind nothing. I mean, what's rich? I mean, you get to do what the fuck you want. I don't need you to be a billionaire to say you're rich, or other people, they'll see that even I rent my place. It's $95,000 a month. But they're like, you rent your place. It's like, you dumb motherfucker. You don't understand how to even operate at my level. People don't buy a $24 million house. They buy $24 million worth of properties that would bring them more money. You don't dump all that into that fucking liability and live in some $24 million pad you bought, stupid. Fucking make investments and you bring it back to this. But everybody thinks they know some shit. And if you don't have the results that I want in some area, I can't fucking listen to you. So most people, I won't listen.
All right. So you guys kind of get the premise on what he's talking about, right?
Yeah. Which I think it's important because this guy does look like a jackass to most people, but in some areas, I think
that guy's got a lot of brains in an area that people don't want to give him credit to.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
No, I get it. What he's talking about is he's got a lot of good points there, you know, but he's about to throw it all down when he's met with somebody that
opposes his belief.
Well, not opposes, but has a successful in their own right that opposes his version of success.
Well, yeah, but
and so
because I know this guy has been ridiculed to hell and back all over the internet, and I just wanted to say that, like, I think he proves a lot of valid points. Mm-hmm. This where the disconnect is he cusses a lot. A lot of people can have a perception that's ignorant, stuff like that, whatever.
Yeah,
this guy, he's obviously he's got a more extremist belief and way of articulating himself like we do, where it's just if
you go 100%,
if you are offended by the way he is talking to you, you are not worth talking to anyways. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just realistically somebody who does not strive for greatness and everything. He just has an extreme way of saying it. You know, I fully believe in what he's saying, but he ends up making a disconnect with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Whenever he starts taking things.
Yeah, just as much as he won't listen to a lady with straight titties and a Rolls Royce. It's the same thing when you have all of this information.
No, whenever he means titties, he means
a dude
that is not taking care of himself. Like man boobs. That's what he means.
All right.
You'll understand.
It's the same
this.
reason why when people listen to you, it's like, okay, you're all this, but you can't even not talk like that.
Yeah.
So again, he is the person that he ridiculing, but I think
Well, let's get on with this, and we'll get back into
Supposed
it.
to follow that up?
It's tough, right? Get him. Well, hey, what you guys were saying earlier, I need to know what the fuck you said in English.
Okay, so my definition of success will probably be far different than everybody else's on the panel. I'll probably maybe be the lone dissenter, but my definition of success is having a family, having children, and being part of the apparatus of the world. And true wealth is a rejection of materialism. As Christ said himself, what good does it benefit a man to gain the entire world at the cost of his soul? And essentially, when I think of wealth, I think of materialism. It's okay to have materialism. It's not against Christian ethics to become rich, become wealthy. But I just think it's all beside the point, ultimately. You're trying to go for a single thing, and it's to achieve something greater
than
money.
The person. Does he have money?
No.
Do you have money?
No, I don't have.
How much money do you have?
I don't have money. But here's the thing. Why is money valuable?
Yeah, that's
How much
ruining
do you
it.
have
Why?
money?
What is money valuable?
He starts throwing it all down.
I'm just asking. Do you have money?
I just told no. I'm broke. I'm a nobody.
No, but really, you are?
Yeah.
Is he really broke?
Yeah.
I just want to know. I have to know.
No, I'm not. I'm not one of these rich guys. I don't have a Bugatti. I don't have a Lambo.
I just really have to know. Like, how much money you got?
Probably the $5 in my pocket. Not much more.
Can anyone answer for the guy?
Why do they think I'm kidding? I have a family. I take care of an entire family. That takes a lot of money.
He's doing all right.
Okay,
but okay.
This is the thing, you guys. If you ain't fit, you can't say it's not all about being in good shape.
Why not?
If you don't have money, you can't say it's not all about money.
Yeah, why not?
But if he does have money, he can say that.
Why not? Why can't you say it? Why must you have the thing before you hang on? Let me ask the question.
Because hypothetical is hypocritical.
Let me ask the question.
Hypothetical is hypocritical.
How do you even know what I was going to say before I've even been allowed to ask the question?
I know what you're going to say.
Then what was I going to say?
You're going to say, why can't you ask the question?
Okay, so That's not what I was going to say. What I was going to say is, how in the world can you create a standard that it's inappropriate to ask somebody, how come if I don't have X thing, because I don't value X thing, does that mean X thing is actually valuable?
You've never experienced it, so you can't speak about
You
it.
think that I haven't experienced wealth? Even
I was asking if you did.
Even poor people experience days of wealth.
I was
They
asking
can-
if you
even
did.
poor
I don't know
people-
who you are.
But even poor people
it
experience
shows.
days of wealth. And so the thing is
No,
it's
definitely not. Definitely not.
Definitely
Definitely
so.
not.
Definitely so.
I've lived the lowest lows and the highest highs.
Well, what's the distinction? After you make X amount, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you look at these studies done on this, it does not.
I don't fit no fucking studies,
It does not
bro.
hugely
This dude
improve a
just
person's
really-
Are
life.
you
Yeah.
proud of who the fuck
Bro,
you are?
why
Well, look
don't you
at.
even
Are
let
you
me
proud?
get-
If you look in the mirror, would you guys say this motherfucker's
Yeah, then
proud
you
of who the
start
fuck
attacking
he
him.
is? That's a bag of trash, dude. Pull your fucking shirt
Because
off
I've
and
been-
tell me you're fucking proud
Because
of yourself.
I've been to fucking prison.
Jesus Christ,
Because
look
I've been
at
to
you,
prison?
bro. You got 10-inch arms and tits. Men don't have tits.
No,
you
they
guys.
go to prison where they get fucking.
Fuck yeah,
where
they
get
do.
raped up the ass.
You've never been to prison. Look,
That's
you're talking
what
about shit you
happens.
don't know.
They go to
never
prison where they
fucking
get
asked
raped.
him.
Now you get your ass
Hold on,
beat
hold
in
on,
front
hold
of
on.
You think that
everybody.
that's better?
Guys,
You think that that's
okay.
better?
Let him give his.
He's
his
not wearing white
definition of
yoga pants
success.
either.
And then-
Having tits and 10-inch arms is what a
let's-
man is,
let's
you
let him-
guys.
let's let him
Please
get
don't
his-
listen to that.
Wes, let's let him get his thing out, and then
Tits.
We can have different opinions.
Yeah.
Titties.
Anyway, back to where I was at.
Boobs.
Yeah. Okay.
Turn his mic off.
But anyway, if
Yeah,
you
no
want,
shit.
Fuck yeah.
if you want to follow the successful mantra of a man who tells you he's reformed from prison, understand why they might have gone there to begin with. And
Take
yes,
care of a
I do think that a rejection of materialism is something missing in society, and I do think that true wealth is the family, and I think that true wealth is having a wife, and true wealth. That is what I think it is, and that is what I think truly success is being able to go home and look your family in the face and know that you're doing everything you can to support them. That's
Then
what
when
I
you
think
go to the
success
beach
is.
with your family, they're like, "There's my stud dad right there, standing there.
Do you have-
that stud right there with
do
his
you
shirt off?
do you have children?
Look at that
Do
stud.
you have children?
I do have children.
How many?
I have two.
You have two. So are you saying that your Bugatti and your money and everything
If
else
they
is
saw me
worth more
standing
than your
there, they'd be
children?
like, my dad's a superhero. Look what he brought to the table. Look how hard this guy works. He came from
Sure.
nothing to this.
Yeah.
He's, God damn it.
You're still whining. Stop
That-
whining
that
and
is
just
a
make an
product.
argument.
I'll smack your fat ass.
So you're gonna attack.
Straight
You're gonna
up.
All right,
attack
all
me?
right, all right, all right,
But
all right.
dude, nobody's
All right.
Do you
whining.
usually attack
This
armed
is
men
how
in
I
Florida?
talk. Dude,
All right.
Look
Let's
at
just.
your goddamn.
You hear what he said?
Yeah.
He said, "Do you usually attack armed men in Florida?" This dude's probably the only one that's strapped.
Yeah. Because he's a fucking dad.
Yeah,
You can tell right then is when he lost his ability to
Yeah.
think because he just
he just starts attacking.
and he had such a good point. He just should have sat there and just
Yeah,
Yeah.
if he went off of his ideology that just, I think that yes, like family matters, basic principles matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what kind of money you have. But I think if you don't have a fuckload of money, but if you give every other aspect your 100%, then that to me is valuable. You know, because that guy, he may just focus all of his energy on
The
his
appearance.
family. You know, and it's just
yeah. He's sit there. He's focused his whole life on setting himself up for what other people will think about him.
And plus, you don't know how old his kids are. Maybe his kids are 10 to 14 years old. Maybe getting in shape and taking care of his health and his wife's health will be something after his kids leave. You know, right now his priority is focused on, instead of spending hours at the gym, like, don't be wrong, there's always time for it. But maybe that's just something he's not wanting to do right now. Maybe it just doesn't suit his
Yeah.
needs. You know,
Well, because he has his
Like-
own version of what
Yeah.
success is.
But whenever all that time frees up for being a day-to-day father, because now no longer, whenever you get home, are you being a day-to-day father? I mean, you've got time on your hands that directly impacts you, you know? And then whenever he has that time, whenever his kids leave, you know, maybe he might take up the journey and start becoming fit. Maybe that might be his new thing he dedicates his time to. I just don't see why some people put fitness and wealth and everything, because a lot of people, even in schools now, I mean, they'll just flex cash or they'll walk around with a Louis bag or shit like that, and that's what they deem wealth. Back in the day, it was shoes. You know what I mean? People would steal people's shoes just to you didn't have cool shoes, you were a nobody. At least to a certain
Why
demographic.
would you rent a place for $95,000 a month? Because you can buy the $24 million house for less money than that.
Yeah, at some point, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
What would
it'd be-
mortgage be on a $24 million house?
It's just the issue that I
15
have-
grand a month? 20 grand a month?
No.
So the point is, I liked his mindset about everything that you do it at 100%.
I
no
agree.
matter what.
wholehearted. We
You-
adopted that mentality from a very early age.
Yeah, but where I start losing him is where he starts putting a number on everything.
Yeah.
The amount of money that you make, the amount of cars that you have, the amount that you can bench press, putting a number on it. That's now, especially when you have kids, now you're setting up your kids to only think about the number, and not about their own true happiness, because you can't put a number on
The
true
reason you
happiness,
want to know a
like-
number is to compare it to somebody else.
Yeah. And when you start living your life in a manner where what other people think about you is what matters, you're never going to be happy. Because there's always going to be somebody
You're just comparing yours to the guy next to you.
Yeah.
To where that guy, he isn't comparing his
Yeah, he
success
don't-
to anybody up there. His
Yeah,
success is his success.
Yeah, he's happy with who he is, and that's why the point that I made earlier about Dustin and John, they're completely two different lifestyles, but they achieve the same version of success. And so that's where I feel true success is when you're not worried
I've
about
got numbers
other people.
for you when you're ready.
Go ahead.
So let's say you got a shitty interest rate of 7% on a $24 million home. That would roughly be your tax would be $1.5 million that you're losing. That's just an interest. So your month over 30 years, assuming that you're doing minimum payments for some reason. If you have this level of wealth figured out, I doubt that you're running bare minimum skimming and not knowing a better way to channel this money and pay for this indirectly. You know what I mean? I feel like once you understand numbers and shit like that, granted, this is just me using my standard, I have a $900 mortgage on a $160,000 house logic, that his bare minimum payment would range in between $75,000 to $80,000 a month. So renting would be more expensive.
And you have nothing to bring with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're actually
You
better
do
off
not. You
buying
do
the
not
$24
have
million.
a $24 million asset. You have a
Someone you are paying
95,000
someone else's $24 million asset.
and then some. Almost, they're making $20,000 a month off of you and using the equity of $24 million to make them $50 million.
Yeah, I just saw
So-
somebody just stand up and said, "I pay an absorbent
So
amount of
at-
money
at
for a
that
house
rate-
that you don't."
Yeah.
At that
just
rate, who's the
ignorance.
jackass? The dude
Yeah.
with flappy tits
Yeah.
driving a Bentley that has $50 million in equity, or the 6'2" jocked out dude on gear that is making you $20,000 a month?
I won't say
Who's the idiot?
In this video, he further digs himself into a hole.
he should have just stopped where he was, because
Yeah.
it's like
If you
he would be between those two people, as out of shape that guy is. I think I would put money on the dude in white dying of a heart attack before the other.
Yeah,
guy.
because he's on trend and gear.
He's just too hyped up, man. It's,
Well, it's just-
he's just too hyped up. It's not even. I do like what he says. Don't have vices. You know what I mean? That was
Could you define that for me? I have a hard time understanding.
things that you have to have. You know,
Yeah.
drugs.
Yeah, okay, there we go. That's the best way to do it.
Drugs and addictions. You know.
Yeah, so I agree with all that.
He should've
It's
just shut the fuck up. He was awesome as shit.
Yeah.
The problem that he's having is that where a lot of people lose this is that all of you guys are up there to discuss why you have your certain beliefs. He was there to change people's beliefs.
Yeah, that's another point I wanted
That
to make
is-
is that he wanted everybody to think the same way that he did.
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
you are not going to change a man's 30 years of things he values with one argumentative onslaught.
Yeah, subject.
It's not going to
Success
change.
is such a subjective thing.
If your kids fucking hate you, dude, I'm sorry. How successful are you? You're no longer successful. You are financially successful, or you're physically successful.
You wanna know it's
the
a
rest
little-
of your shit is fucking horrible.
You know-
your wife will leave you. and take half of this shit.
It would be
Probably been
cool.
sleeping with somebody else.
Like,
for a
sure,
while.
it would be cool. Just like, yeah, dude, my dad's absolutely fucking ripped his shit. He'll rip your head off. Blah, 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 blah. But don't try to tell him anything. You can't talk to him.
Yeah,
You can never hang out with my dad because he would.
Well, I mean, we don't know how his parenting life
Well,
is.
I'm just
but-
saying. Well, just based off of some dude not arguing with him, he has provoked an argument.
Oh yeah,
I'm just saying
For
his
him,
public image right now.
Because you saw how
He just said
he
his- what
went.
he thought.
You saw how he went from explaining, trying to articulate his thoughts to automatically having a mind block, and because there's a bunch of people watching them, he just immediately, to try to fill in that space that he couldn't articulate, he had to just attack the dude.
Yeah, he's no longer relaxed. He's standing up, walking around, over talking even the host, chiming in at times. That it's just
it gets
it's ridiculous.
it gets way worse. There's no reason to watch the rest of it. If anybody else is ends up watching this, they could just go and look for the video for themselves, because it's
Yeah, it's too bad. Because
Yeah.
I think he should have just.
He had a great start. I think he has a attack mentality. That's a good way to be personally. But whenever it's just, there's a thing where it's just people have different walks of life. People value different things. People find different levels of success and happiness in different things. And unfortunately, his idea wasn't there to discuss about it. He was there to be the best. He was there to showboat. He was.
He just wanted the bigger numbers than everybody else there. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure there's quite a few people on that stage that have money that are like, dude, this dude, I think his math is a little wrong in some areas. But
Well,
it
'cause
doesn't have to be for him if he wants to just, if he's got enough money that he wants to brag about paying $95,000 a month in rent. To each his own, man. If that's what you want, right
It's
on.
just the problem is that he thinks that he's the shit because he's the coolest out of all of them. But then, I'll just name drop on it. Then you have people like Andrew Tate. He has over $1 billion fucking dollars. He's a world-renowned kickboxer.
Mm-hmm.
He is the most trending man on the internet. Half these people don't even know who the fuck he is until that video. And now the only time they know him is as the guy who's having a roid rage off of trend over some dude who doesn't care about money as much as him. And then you've got people that exist out there that can, one, whoop his ass, one is more, and two is more desired, and three can buy his fucking life with a check.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always bigger people, and
The reality is that out of shape dude he used that dude in the white yoga pants' mentality with his family.
yeah,
He does the
he
same
just
thing.
applied it in different areas. Just because he doesn't work out and isn't rich,
I
doesn't
think he
mean
should.
anything.
I should think he should take care of himself.
Yeah, he should.
But the reason I think you should take care of yourself is to.
But
get the
he can
most out of
he
what
can
you got.
still get up and interact with his kids.
I don't think the white dudes. People view that as in shape. That's not, dude. You are lugging around 50, 60 extra pounds of shit.
I see no useful muscle
Yeah,
or
there's
mobility.
no useful muscle.
That is unhealthy too. It looks great. Don't get me wrong. It's great.
Yeah,
it's
it's cool.
it's a total specimen what a man could achieve.
Well,
But
human
that's not good for your
biology can
body.
achieve.
Yeah, that's not good for your body either. In fact, the out of shape guy, even though I don't think he's healthy, just because of the strain on his organs. You know what I mean? But your body is lugging around 50, 60 extra pounds too.
Yeah.
They're both lugging around the same amount of weight that their body isn't designed to
It's
hang,
just one
lug around.
Just
you know?
one thing is deemed actually just only by this generation. Before that guy's generation, like that, at some point in time, the other guy's physique was more agreeable. And then
The black guy next to him was actually, I would say, health-wise, was probably better than the guy in the white yoga pants. Just, all right, you can move extra shit. That's great, but you are somebody that makes enough money to not move extra shit. You are literally causing strain on all of your vital organs that will keep you alive longer. Neither one of those guys will see. Actually, the out of shape guy probably has a better chance of seeing old age than doing the white yoga pants.
Yeah.
The healthiest guy I saw up there was the guy that was sitting next to him. Actually,
yeah,
The black guy to the right of him? Or?
To the if you're looking at the dude in the white yoga pants,
To the
dude
right?
to his left,
oh, that guy
to
wasn't
his
black.
right, but to our left.
That guy wasn't black.
Oh, the white guy?
He was Hispanic
Or
with the blonde hair.
Yeah.
no, I don't think. Click it back on the scene.
Talking about this dude?
No.
Or that dude?
That guy's definitely Hispanic.
Or are you talking about that?
If you click it on it, go rewind a little bit. When you see just him sitting there, go back more. When he's talking about, click that big, that guy right there.
This guy?
Yeah.
It's definitely not black.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
I think that guy's in better shape than that guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
100% agree.
Because they're both ripped to high shit back. Don't get me wrong, but
This one looks like he got there in a little bit more of a natural way.
Yeah.
well, that he probably did it natural as fuck. You know what I mean? But it's your body wasn't meant to carry all that shit either. You know. The only reason you should ever be that kind of size is if you're I don't know, that dude, he's proportioned right. He looks great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He looks fucking awesome.
He
as
looks
shit.
better than I do. He
But-
looks better than I do.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Let's just be honest. We're getting down to weight here, and your organs don't know that that's muscle. your heart doesn't.
Well, we're not really on the topic of talking about people's health. It's more just along the lines of just
I don't
what
know
is
shit either,
more or
but-
less successful, you know?
Yeah.
Because I just think we're concentrating too much on the guy's muscle rather than the principle of what he's trying to get behind it.
I think he
there's
was right everywhere,
It's
but-
not misplaced value. It's just whenever you no longer care about your own values, you care about changing other people's values.
Well, I think that's
And
why
that's
they're
where he
there.
went wrong.
I think that's why they're there. Is they're
No, they're there to simply discuss each other's different types of things, but instead of discussing his things, he's only attacking it and telling him why his beliefs are wrong. And that's where I think he
Yeah.
starts making a fool out of himself.
I think he has the same beliefs, just not in every area.
Yeah.
I think he is with his family the same way that guy is about money,
And his image.
health, image, which I think is important too. You know, you are what you display to the world, and that guy, one looks like he cares about what the world thinks of him. The other one don't give two shits, and I think you should. I think
To him, the world that he cares to put a good image on is his family. That is his world.
yeah, but
it also-
you're raising your kids in that world.
Yeah,
too,
but it
you
also
know.
seems like he does care about what other people think of him too.
Yeah, to some degree. Not as much as the dude in the white, but you know.
Oh, that's what that's what I was talking about.
I meant the normal dad.
Oh, the normal dad. Yeah, he don't give a fuck what other people
To
think
him,
about
his
him.
kids and his family, that's the world he cares to perceive himself in.
I don't give a fuck about anything outside of that window, but I do give a fuck about the way outside of that window looks at my kids.
Yeah. Well,
And if I walk around like a floppy bag of shit, anybody that sees me is going to also think that I have a whole family of floppy bags of shit.
Yeah.
You know, so as much as I don't care about what the world thinks, I do, but not because of me. It's because I want to represent myself the best I can
for your kids.
for my family.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Don't tell that to that guy though.
Yeah.
But that, and also I want to be here as long as I possibly can with my family. And if you're not taking care of yourself, then you're not going to be here as long as you possibly can with your family. Now that dude in the white, he is in a physical shape to be as long as he can, but unfortunately at that maintaining that physical shape probably give him a heart attack. So he won't be here as long as he possibly can. But there's a balance to everything. That, and you can just you can take amazing good care of yourself, and just, it was never meant to be anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You want to segue?
Yeah, I can segue. There's just no direct, real connection to it. It's just something that grinds my gears. So I'd like to assume that every single one of you guys value your privacy, right? Mm-hmm. Your shit, your belongings, your rights, basic things. So a part of some stuff of what I do, occasionally I have to educate people on this, and it's something that I believe goes against people's rights in a way. Well, not in a way. Technically, directly infringes upon people's rights. In a way that I don't believe that should exist. Sure. And there's these. If anybody is familiar with public utility laws. Or at least your basic rights as somebody who owns property, stuff like that. Say you have private property. Everybody has like a meter box, something like that, at least if you live in the city, stuff like that, you'll have water meters, you'll have electrical meters, stuff like that that sits in your yard. You know, those green boxes, green generators, stuff like that. You'll have small poles in your yard that's just for power lines. You know, it's for your neighborhood, local power supply, all kinds of stuff. Some people even have the little gated areas with a concrete slab that has stuff that controls the entire neighborhood. You know, Jacksonville's a common place. JEA has them in almost every single neighborhood, and those things are called just basic public utility control places. And typically those sit on people's private properties.
Talking about like the big ass green box.
Yeah, that everybody sat on and played with as a kid.
Yeah.
Literally everybody, the ones that you would absolutely fucking destroy with a weed eater on the weekends.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. So there's a couple of, I've got an advertisement can, by the way. There's a couple of laws I wanted to look into. A couple of them pertaining to, each of them vary state by state, mainly their verbiage and stuff like that, what it entails. They change typically state by state, but there's one that struck me the weirdest, which was Georgia utility easement law, like stuff like Public Works or JEA, Jacksonville Electrical Authority, stuff like that. These kind of places are known as public utility, which is stuff that provides services to the public, well, which can be defined as a company or organization that's funded by the public or taxpayer money that is generally for betterment of the public and general population. And then most of these things that, you know, supply your local business, power, plumbing, water, all that stuff, you know. One would say that having these pipelines run underneath your home can be the ultimate betterment of society. You know what I mean? These things, it sounds beneficial in good hindsight, you know, but where my disconnect is whenever it comes to these things sitting on people's private property, so people can buy these properties. And then at any point, what people are unaware of that I have to explain a lot to people is they'll think that people are trespassing, which in blatant hindsight, somebody...
I mean,
yeah, so
off the
somebody...
technicality, they aren't.
No,
they
by
are.
Technicality, they are. Not
And
even by
aren't.
not even by technicality, by letter of law and private property rights. Give me the word of somebody who is on your property that you do not welcome and have not given any authorization to do so. What are they doing?
Yeah, they're trespassing.
So is a cop, though.
So it is known as trespassing. But the government has made its own law.
Go back to OBS.
The government has made its own law, which Georgia is a little bit more of a radical verbiage,
Go back.
to say the least, for public utility laws is, let's read it here, just the government has the right to easements of private property in order to install, expand, and maintain utilities such as power lines. These extend to your plumbing and stuff like that, or water meters for neighborhood. And don't get me wrong, water meters are important. That's the stuff that regulates your water flow for your house, to which you can be charged accordingly for being on city water and stuff like that. But I think a better way of being able to understand this is honestly learning into, if you could Google the definition of an easement. An easement, I don't know a definition verbatim, but in a general gist, your easements are just a small allocated amount of land from a public roadway onto your lawn, allowing these companies to be able to come and service these things for the betterment of society. But these places exist. Yeah. See, a right to cross or otherwise use someone else's land for a specified purpose. So, with that being said, it is the unwelcoming authorization against your will for these places. These pictures are great for it. Actually, it exists right there on the right.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So those are your sewer lines and stuff like that. There's buried electrical cable. Sometimes there'll be signs for this. Is yes, in a grand scheme of things, is this is better for everybody. Because one, these lines have to fucking go somewhere. These pipes have to fucking go somewhere. And sometimes these things are built out and then these homes appear and they happen to land on top of these things. And I just start asking the question is how far is too far? You know, it's because, yes, this is for the betterment of people, but at the same time, the government has given itself its own authority to go onto people's land, install these things, because a lot of these things is people can install, even if these lines don't exist, if it is the cheapest, most cost-effective thing, they are allowed to install these things for the betterment of society against your will.
So even if the property's already there and there's no power lines, sewer lines, whatever, they can just say that, yeah, we want to put it there, and they can put it there?
Yes, it's
so many feet from the road.
Typically, they average about 15, but no, they can actually dig directly under your land if they like to. So a lot of companies, because it's a lot cheaper, some will offer you cash settlements that, like, a great way is, I always forget the name of the actor, but they made a good movie about this, installing an oil line. They presented the opportunity to pay the Amish to dig 6 feet down underneath their land to run a efficient pipeline across their land. They rejected the cash settlement. So because of this law that exists, I believe they drilled 180 feet below their property and ran the line under anyways because it's covered under this law for the betterment of society. So no matter what, under this law, they can just do what they want as they want. Even though, technically speaking, whenever I imagine I buy the dirt that I'm fucking standing on, I believe I've bought all of it, not just the fucking topsoil that you can step on.
Well, 6 feet and 120 feet is pretty different. And so, yes, you are on the soil, but only 120 feet, you're not in soil anymore. You're in bedrock.
Yeah.
And so you basically would be assuming that you own everything from your house to the core of the earth.
That's where the arguing standpoint comes from. Is this when is too much? How much are you, like, whenever you start giving up on certain things, it's like, oh yeah, it is that many feet, but I guess it doesn't technically impact me or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But if you look at it, these people are building on your side of the shit that you pay for and taxed on against your will every single day, every single year that is accruing. I mean,
I think it probably costs more money to dig 120 feet below than whatever that settlement they were trying to give them. So
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah. Come on, 180 feet, and then however long that is.
Well, actually, technically speaking, since the world is round, the further you dig, the less property they're digging in. So if your world's like this, and you've got a property that's this wide,
I think the margins are. I think the margins are not that.
Yeah, it's probably not that significant.
Actually, because it's coned too, so you're probably losing, depending on how large the property is, 120 feet. You're probably losing 100 and something. So say if a property is an acre wide on the earth, 120 feet down, you probably lose 10% of that, 8%.
No, I don't think it's that much.
No, I think the numbers are much smaller. But
just because I think of how
but my beef exists is that is whenever it comes to it is that at some point anybody like they only are allowed to be there for the designated purpose of servicing or maintaining or installing or fixing that equipment at some level. They're only authorized to only do that. But those are people that are legally covered to enter your property for that reason at any time.
The problem is the verbiage, and it's the very same verbiage that takes people's guns away.
Yeah,
when you say the betterment of society,
dude,
what that does is
the government has the right.
No,
that's where my problem
hear me
exists.
out. Hear me out. They say it's for the betterment of society. The government didn't do that. You voted that government in. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Actually,
Hang on, hang on.
Hold on. I just want to add to your voting thing. Most of the time, stuff like this is actually only voted for in contrary to another thing, because there were some voting ballots. I don't know if you remember this back whenever
the
I
vaping
voted
thing
for
and
Trump.
the offshore drilling.
Yeah,
thing.
you can
Yeah.
either ban vaping indoor, but you would vote in favor of drilling off the coast of North Carolina, or
You don't-
vice
or
versa.
or you don't vote.
Those things, yeah, but
You don't have to vote on it. You actually have a lot more power than people think. It's just people think they only have these options. So that for anybody listening that's not in Florida, in 2016, they were trying to pass a bill to offshore drilling off of the Atlantic coast of Florida. But if you voted no, you were voting that you could vape indoors. And if you voted yes, then you were saying you can vote no for vaping indoors.
Yeah.
And people were so head-staunched about not drilling off the coast of Florida that they did that. So yes, they will. I can't remember what they call it, but it's like when you just stick shit in a bill because you know it'll pass. You know, but you also don't have to vote on it. If nobody votes on it, it doesn't get passed either. You know
But
what I
yeah,
mean?
then now the margins are smaller. Now it just takes a little bit of people to vote, for something.
I
like
don't
that.
know. When you're making amendments, I think it has to have a certain amount of votes.
You'll never have a. Well, if that's the case, then
I don't know that for
I
a
can
fact.
get
I don't
behind.
know
I can get behind.
at
by
that
not
rate, it
voting
almost
for
sounds like we're living in a democracy. Majority rules.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only time you have a democracy is during voting. But the United States counters that by an electoral college.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't still have a democracy.
Yeah. That's one thing I cannot stand is that people talk about how certain things are a detriment to our democracy, and it's like
I don't like.
I don't think they understand.
Unless it's for like Helldivers purposes and unironic patriotism, then it's
Yeah.
funny to say.
I think everything.
Democracy.
I think everything should attack democracy. Democracy ruins everything it touches.
Yeah.
There's not a thing on this planet that democracy is good in.
Yeah.
Never, not once. The only time that democracy is good is when you're on the winning side. Mm-hmm. That's the only
I
time
think
that
it
democracy
was-
is good.
I think it was Benjamin Franklin said this. It was democracy is like two wolves and a sheep voting what's for lunch, but Republican patriotism is the equivalence of the same thing, but the sheep is very well armed.
Yeah, well, his vote counts too. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's not.
Because realistically, democracy, everybody knows that if you had those two wolves against a sheep, everybody knows what everybody's voting. But a very well armed sheep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come get some.
that's how you counter democracy.
In a democracy, 50.1 determines the fate of the 49.9.
Yeah.
That's what
Fuck
democracy
that
has.
49 no 50.0000001.
That's how it works, man.
Yeah.
That's a
And
democracy.
all it takes is one vote from a dead Revolutionary War guy from North Carolina to tip the balance.
That's one thing I can't believe they failed to acknowledge was the fact that dude got
was
in.
swept under the fucking rug.
Yeah.
Dude that's been dead
And
for 120 fucking years.
Oh, there's more than one.
I know. I'm just finding it funny that there's people that died on the fucking Titanic
I think that.
that voted for
I
these
think
people.
why get that guy to vote when you made up all these other ones anyway?
Yeah.
Like, why are you resurrecting dead people when
why-
you're just making people up?
Why'd you pull his stuff?
It's like,
that?
Matthew Cox. It's like, why do I keep making these synthetic identities when I can just go take somebody's identity?
Yeah.
It's like, just at some point, you got to just say that there's a better way to do this.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's called evolving your business.
so people, when they heard for the betterment of society, what they were thinking is like, oh, I can get behind that. I can get behind that. It's so that we all have power, and so I don't have to pay for it, and I don't have to sit here and do crowdfunding to try to get a power line fixed. Yeah, it's for the betterment of society. No, it's because you're lazy.
Yeah. How
And
much?
you
How
let
much
the
is
fox
too
in the hen
much to
house.
start giving? You know.
Yeah, you let the fox in the hen house. Now you got to deal with it. And I think it's fucked up that you don't actually own your property.
No.
Yeah.
You know, you own the house that sits on the property, but you only own 99% of it. You can literally have your house taken from you at your land taken from you at any moment if you don't pay for it, and you've already bought it.
Yeah.
You know,
Actually,
I think
some people who have been doing it right, and by the bare minimum, over 30 years, have actually paid for their property, depending on when they bought it, 4 times over. Most people, like people nowadays that buy like a $200,000 home with a 10% interest rate. You know, I mean, there's people that are. I mean, people average about 5 to 7%.
Well, even
now.
if your house is
that's
paid
still
for,
fucking high.
even if your house is paid for, the land isn't.
Well, what I mean is just like even the bare minimum. This is why it makes no sense to pay off your home, or at least you yourself pay it off. Having other people pay it off is the way to do it. Because realistically, I mean, even like let's say you bought a home at $100,000 with a low interest rate in modern days like 5%, which is fucking outrageous, considering mine is less than half of that. You know, realistically, if you're financing it for 30 years, like everyone is forced to, I mean, you've paid that home off at year 8.
I just
10.
think it's fucked up that you can sit there and own a piece of property.
You're paying interest for 20 plus years.
You can own a piece of property for
Makes
50
no sense.
years, not pay taxes 1 year, and your property's taken. You can't tax the same dollar twice.
Yeah.
You've already paid tax on this land when you bought the fucking house.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just to constantly keep a tab going on this house so that they can take it anytime you want. But again, people say, oh, I can get behind that. Just like a red flag law. Yeah, I can get behind that. You shouldn't have crazy people with
Yeah.
guns.
Once you do that, then you'll allow anything to
That's
happen.
my one beef with Ron DeSantis, man. Get rid of that fucking red flag law. That's unconstitutional.
And then just like that, if you said that the only way we can pass more laws is somebody gives me the sloppiest top in the parking garage, I'll be there. But as long as that fucking red flag's on, I'm just saying that penis gonna be dry, dog.
I don't understand. I don't understand how people just think. How do you just think the best of the government? How do you just assume? Why do you just? You wouldn't give your neighbor that type of power.
Yeah, so why are you giving somebody that you've never seen, you don't know their name, but a bunch of people that kind of power?
Most people, including myself, do not even know the people who represent their state.
That's the rich
Yeah.
part about it, is because you ask anybody and they would not give their neighbor their power. But the interesting thing about the United States is your neighbor is your government.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your senator, your congress people, your city council, they live next door to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you are giving your neighbor that power. You know, it's dumb. It is fucking stupid. When you stop being responsible for your own actions and you just trade that false sense of security you trade your liberty for that false sense of security, because you just let the fox in your in house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get it. It makes you feel better, but you are fucking the world up.
Yeah.
Because once you open that door, you don't shut it. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. What they say, you know?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, it is really stupid.
Yeah. It sucks to know that you'd have to like fend for yourself and all that stuff, but if it makes you feel any better, you do. You know, you always have to fend for yourself. You just think you don't because you have this false sense of security.
Yeah, why do you think that
And
people...
boom, now we got Section 8 housing.
But why do you think that people, when they like these people that are for communism and shit like that it's like they understand that what you're doing is giving all these things to the state and letting the state run and then the state pay you. But why don't they understand that you're having to give up your stuff too? It's
You
no longer
are property of the state.
Yeah.
Too. It's
Like-
it's not Tom. It's you.
Yeah, like they don't understand that it's you are fucking yourself and everybody else. You're basically bringing down the whole ship with you.
And plus, you actually believe your shit's being evenly dispersed too.
Yeah.
Like that's the
That
dumbest
man-
shit. That's crazy. There's even disbursement apparently, but then all the people who are doing the dispersing are in nicer homes, making much more money, driving much nicer shit, wearing much nicer clothes. Seriously? And you still believe this shit could work?
I think the
and-
funniest
and
part.
now-
In a perfect world, it could sure work if there was no such thing as greed or corruption. But newsflash,
No, it's not
motherfucker.
that, man. It's not. The
But
only
it's like
people
now
that
I don't have. I can just now do less and still get the same
Yeah,
fucking
there's no-
thing
there's no
that
point.
somebody putting in all the work.
Man,
Next
everybody
thing you
else
know,
will do
you'll
this.
be a Detroit fucking garbage man going on strike for the 8th time in
Yeah.
1 year. Now you're making $170,000.
And that's what I loved about capitalism, because the selfishness, the natural selfishness in human behavior, capitalism makes it to where you get out what you put in. You know, with risk, of course.
Yeah.
You know, because nothing's
Well,
ever.
that's what you put
it's
into.
Yeah, but nothing's ever 100% when it comes to that kind of stuff either. But it also leaves out the fact that if people that are doing less, they also get less. You know, they don't get the same fucking benefit as somebody that's putting in all the work.
See, I personally love the idea of capitalism because simply using your brain can work. It's like whenever the gold rush was happening out in the West, it's just why be amongst the thousands and thousands and thousands who make the 2,500-mile journey across to go hope to get rich, or you can be the dude sitting on his ass selling the pickaxes.
Yeah. The only people that want
Just
the only people that
seems
want
common.
communism are people that don't live in it.
The only people who want communism are the people who don't plan on contributing to shit that gets taken.
Yeah.
You
Should
show
be
me one.
dispersed.
You show me one person that lives in a communist country that doesn't want to live in a capitalist country.
Yeah.
You
The only people who live in a communist country who are in favor of it are the people who are controlling it.
well, most
Because
people
their
that live
shit
in
is
a,
excluded.
most people that live in a communist country don't know that there's capitalist countries out there.
Yeah.
And then when you get old enough, you're like, man, I need to get the fuck out of this.
I was like,
place.
wow, I can own my own shit and not be told what kind of business I should run.
In a communist country, Germany looks like a capitalist country, and it's a socialist country like crazy.
Well, I mean, ours is going that way with fuckbox and
we're
at the
still.
helm.
People's argued the fact that it's not a socialist country, but it's harder
Yeah.
to convince me. You know,
Now, like 2016 to 2020, you can definitely tell me this was a capitalistic country.
I mean, we are a capitalist country, but
I mean, it's not exactly as definitive as it was
There's a lot
before.
of
There's gray areas now.
socialist regulations that was
well
installed in
in its
America.
design. A government is a socialist. It's taking from one to give to another. That is socialism. So any form of government, which was why
Actually,
I
it's
don't believe-
Obamacare.
Well, I mean, anytime you see roads, school buses, police, ambulance, whatever, street lights, whatever, you are seeing money taken from someone to give to another. Then that's not even including Medicaid, Medicare, welfare.
I personally think that
Section
I
8.
personally think that first responders is a necessary evil. Technically,
First responders could be.
I think first responders are your modern day Minutemen.
I agree, but you know, a large portion of firefighters are volunteers. That and even the firehouse that is mostly volunteer, it's crowdfunded a lot, you know, and so people. This is also the detriment to society too. People can crowdsource their own police officers, but crowdsourcing your own police officers also makes it to where you're giving a person the power to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
So you're paying for your own demise. I think you're better off policing yourself because a cop can't come and protect you. It's illegal for a cop to protect you
Yeah, I
because
say just
you-
have the cops to be the guy that does paperwork.
I mean, that's really all they do anyway.
Yeah,
you know,
but-
they come to document
With
what
a little
happened.
extra.
Sometimes you gotta, you need. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that cops are useless or anything like that. What I'm saying is that it can very easily be the fox. You know, and the minute you just give your safety to the responsibility of someone else, well, your safety is as much as they deem that it's worth.
I think police should just strictly be backup.
I don't even think that. I don't even think that.
If shit hits the fan and you're defending your home,
I
you
think
know,
the
with your
minute-
life from somebody else, the police should just be there in case you haven't resolved it already.
I think the minute that lady next across the street right there stops protecting her house is the minute she's a victim. You know, that's just the way it is. Because even with the cop, you're still a victim. Because the cop can't keep somebody from going in your house. They can only come and get them out of the house. You see what I'm saying? The fucker's already in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's your responsibility to take care of yourself. The minute you give that to someone else, you've opened the door for all the things you now have, such as easements.
Yeah.
You give away all of your liberties for a false sense of security.
Yeah. That once you told me about that easement law, that has communist fucking.
The Florida one is the one.
Dictatorship
The
written
Florida
all over it.
verbiage is the one that's a little bit more. Ooh. Like
thought the Georgia
well,
one
the
was
Georgia verbiage is whenever the government has the right. The one that's kind of disturbing is also about the Florida one is that just that they're not responsible for any of the damage and stuff that's done
that
in
too.
place.
Yeah, like they can
What's
fucking.
that one thing where the government can just take your property? What's that?
I know what you're talking about. It's like eminent
domain.
Eminent domain. Yeah.
Because it was funny because Jeb Bush, he was talking shit to somebody that was used eminent domain to take city block or whatever. The city gave it to, it might have been Trump because he, I don't know, I don't want to misspeak on it, but Jeb Bush was sitting there talking about all this shit that how could you kick an old lady out of her house? Yeah, he was talking about Trump. He's like, how could you kick an old lady out of her house? There was no old lady, just an old lady probably lived in the neighborhood, you know?
Yeah.
But yet his family used that same thing to build, because they own the Astros, the Houston Astros. They used eminent domain to build the fucking stadium. Like you had a dude that used eminent domain talking shit to somebody that used eminent domain for using eminent domain. Nobody's used eminent domain more than Jeb Bush's family, you know? But it was just funny. But that's another thing. It's like, yeah, if we deem that it's for the betterment of society, we're just going to take a shit. But
Yeah,
so
no,
the
that-
Houston Astros was the betterment of society.
Yeah, no,
Not even fucking close. It's the betterment of you and your friends' wallets. That's about it. Your net worths were the
Yeah,
only
no,
ones that
that-
were bettered.
Fucking asshole.
Easement. If I was in a position of political power to give and take away laws, I would realistically be only deregulating. I would not be enacting a single fucking law. And the easement law is probably one of the things I would remove. I don't think it's necessary.
Realistically, the city can, like that, they go into dad's lawn. They go stick a bunch of fucking flags in his grass. And they show up with tiny little tractors. And then they fuck up his lawn, dig up his shit. And then replace it and service it, and then they just fucking do with it as they want and leave.
You know,
They don't have to talk to him. They don't have to do
No.
shit.
I thought about this a couple.
and you can't even take the flags out.
Yeah. This is
I mean,
a
it'll
few-
just give you more. I mean, you technically can, but I mean,
probably like
they'll probably find some kind of city ordinance to cite you with, and then now you're stuck at your own inconvenience to go. It's
Yeah, paying for a small little flag.
and that's the problem is that realistically is that you have to deal. The only way to make your life easier is to just be like, I'll just let it go, and just let them do what they want.
Yeah, because
That's-
at the end of the
because-
day, it's
Do you guys?
you're going to be
do you guys
spending
put
all
it
that
in
money.
Because you guys put it in
you
law?
are taking on a fight that
An
you just-
entity. An entity is realistically what it is. Just an entity
it's an
with
entity
the power of the
where
pen.
multiple people have access to billions of dollars, but yet there's not a single face
of
that
your
sits at the top
billions
of
of
it.
dollars. It's your billions of dollars that they use against you.
I had this suspicion a long time ago. This is, for clarity, this is just conspiracy theory. There was a few years ago where it was a long time ago, actually, which makes me think it's kind of adds validity to my conspiracy. There was a wildfire in Florida, probably like 8 years ago or something like that. And then I started thinking about the wildfires that happen in California and in Oregon and in Washington. All right. So the start of fires really in the wild is like what it can Tinder. I spent a lot of time in a sauna, and it's made out of wood.
Yeah.
A sauna is dry as fuck. There is no more tender than the fucking wood that is in the sauna.
Yeah.
A cold sauna is 170 degrees. That's a cold sauna.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of any place on the fucking planet that's ever seen 170 fucking degrees.
Well, so I was told about some of this stuff, like hay bales are a really good example of this. That stuff, whenever it dries up, like even dry stuff that gets clumped onto your mower, a lot of the stuff, if it's wrapped up so tight underneath its own pressure and its dryness, can actually cause a lot of friction and heat underneath the pressure and actually start to smoke and then catch wind and actually start fires.
170 degrees don't start fires.
I mean, there's lower temperatures that can do it, but
like what?
I don't know any of it behind it. But a good person,
It's not 170 degrees.
no,
I can tell you that.
a good person to explain this would be like my buddy Clint. He grew up on a farm in Missouri. He's around that stuff.
You have to have a spark.
Well, I mean, understanding those basic principles, but this is why I can't speak on it that much. It's just I know that there's some kind of explanation. I don't understand it, but he grew up around it. That's all.
You got places like Northern California and Oregon and Washington State. They aren't exactly dry climates. In Seattle, it rains, 70-something% of the year. It's not a dry climate. The desert is a dry climate. I started thinking, what if... So let's just say you got a piece of property that your great-great-granddad left you, and it's 100 acres out in the middle of Central Florida. And the government wants to, or somebody wants to have it, wants to buy it from you. Like, man, it's kind of sentimental to me. I can't get rid of it. Mm-hmm. I'll give you $100 million for it. Nah, I can't. As much as I'd love $100 million, it's not like I can ever get this back.
No.
I think I want to keep on to it. What if a fire just happens there? Now you can be fined from the state if you don't clean it. You know? So you end up just giving the property away.
Yeah. Probably
Because
better
it'll
off
cost
just
you
selling
$100
it.
million to clean this fucking thing up.
Yeah. You're probably
You know?
better just selling it.
So what if these things are just started? Like, I've always wondered, like, wherever
this
these...
is how much this is how little I know. Is actually what causes hay bale fires is excessive moisture. Apparently, some of the excessive moisture can cause chemical reactions that lead to a buildup of heat. And then that stuff that Clint was talking about is that because that stuff can be wrapped up so tight, but it's apparent. I didn't know it was excessive moisture, but apparently it's due to mold. It's due to mold and mildew and bacterial buildup. At least that's what it's on there. He can explain it because he grew up wrapping this shit.
It's a lot between. There's a lot more to it than it's hot outside.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to have an ignition.
Typically, your ignition can just be a chemical reaction in itself is just it's
an
basically, yeah.
Yeah, but it being hot outside is not it.
Yeah, it's hard for you to sell it on me whenever there's been surface videos that have leaked of people going around with tar in cans and actually intentionally lighting these fires.
These fires are intentionally lit. And now, I'm not saying they're all like by some corporate fucking greed. Or anything
but
like
I mean,
that,
like
but
realistically, burning these things are extremely good because whenever all this shit starts dying off, and there is a large ecosystem to be supported, destroying it is technically detrimental at one point, but it's essential for new life. A lot of times, what people are doing in order to like replant lawns or stuff like that is they'll start by burning it all because of how much plants love carbon, and burning that stuff is a perfect foundation for all new vegetation and life to start growing, which can actually, in the long term, better an ecosystem.
I've always wondered, like, I can't remember where that wildfire here in Florida was.
That was definitely started Florida don't just do that shit. This is a perfect place.
Paradisio.
I just wanted, because I remember when it happened, I was like, dude, I'm going to Google this place in 4 years. And I'm going to see if there's a bunch of strip malls and Walmarts there and shit, you know? But I can't remember the fucking name of the place. Like,
Probably been erased from
Put it on
the
a sticky
internet.
note somewhere.
yeah. I keep forgetting the names of the one in California. But I'd love to go back and look and see if, like, this is now just a fucking subdivision now or something, you know? Because it's an easy way to garner. Like, Chuck, he's got money. He had a letter sent to him from the city to clean up a piece of property. He bought an old trailer park, and it had all these lot numbers on it. And they said that this lot 27 or some shit needs to be cleaned. So he went over there and he cleaned it. And then like a month later, he got another letter saying, if this isn't addressed within the next some odd days, we're going to put a lien on the property. He's like, I've already fucking cleaned this fucking thing. And they mistyped the lot number. So he went and cleaned a lot number that it said needed to be cleaned, but it was actually like a completely different lot number, and they just did a typo on it. But they weren't changing it. You still had this amount of days to do this, or we're taking this fucking property.
What the hell?
Yeah. So he had to hurry up and do that shit, or he's going to lose that property. So if you get that property burnt down, if you don't clean it, then now it's a hazard. You know what I mean? So now it's
But the city can take it over and leave it as a hazard.
yeah, yeah.
It's all right if we do it.
Yeah.
But you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that is also the problem that many people don't think multimillionaires have. Is that's the shit. You are now on the radar of the city and everybody who controls it.
Yeah, because they don't want you to have your money.
No.
Because the
Independence? Oh, no. Give me that money, boy.
It's fucked up, man. It's like every level of life you go through, you got your own problems you got to deal with. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think it matters. That's why that chubby little fucker is like, dude, it's just he's not wrong, man. You know.
yeah.
I think that one guy in the white yoga pants just makes enough money to
His ripped jeans.
not
Any
really.
dude that's like walking around rocking dyed jeans with intentional rips on them, I think your opinion's invalid already. But, you want to know what's worse than a grown man with tits? A grown man wearing skinny jeans. It's a little bit worse.
I think if you're skinny jeans look fine.
Yeah, but he looks very top heavy.
No, his legs are built.
No, he definitely has some
Yeah,
fucking
doesn't
jackass
skip.
legs.
He didn't skip leg day either.
Absolutely
That dude
not.
took-
No,
that
he
dude looked
injects
awesome.
all over.
Doesn't matter. He still has skinny jeans on.
I had a question. Oh, since you have been around murder, does murder come?
What do you mean?
What?
I was watching this show that's called Murder Comes to Town.
What are you talking about?
When you hear that, what does that imply? Murder comes to town.
When it comes in waves. There'll be one here, one there, one the other way. I mean, I don't know what you mean.
Well, if there is a show that's called Murder Comes to Town, what would that imply to you?
Serial killer?
Something. Passerby.
Yeah, just
I've watched a few of these shows, and they're all from there.
No, murder's there. It's in there.
Murder is here.
Yeah.
It's not comes to town. It was here.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it'll a murder will taint a town. Like there'll be places that people have never heard of, and then there will be something that happens so gruesome it actually puts a place on the map, and then that's what the
Yeah.
place is historically known for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must be unfortunate
It's like
to have that kind of name.
I forgot where this place is called. You might actually know this. It's known as it's a cursed lake in Georgia. I think it's up near around Atlanta somewhere. It's the one that they were trying to build a dam, so they flooded the whole fucking city.
That's a
Yeah, like there's like dozens and dozens and dozens of families died, drowned, all that shit. Like you can go diving there and there's full cities underwater. The stop signs and everything are still there, houses.
oh, dude, where is it? I'd like to go. I'll dive.
You don't want to fucking go there. There are
Is it haunted or
There is a
something?
fuckload of mysterious drownings, disappearances,
Oh, yeah,
all
okay,
kinds
I'm
of
good.
shit
I'm good
that
then.
exist around there. And we can search it up, see if we can find it. It's a cursed lake.
Lake Mead has some parts that old towns were. I mean, they were flooded on purpose
What's it
or
called?
whatever. You just got a flooded town.
Flooded town in northern Georgia. Floated.
I wonder if it's that road that goes into Tennessee because it's
I seriously
there's
just
a,
floated.
Just
there's a
you
beautiful
go down to
lake.
Georgia.
There's a beautiful lake right there on the way to Tennessee, and it's got a rest stop in the middle of the fucking lake. It's like beautiful as shit.
What town in Georgia was flooded?
Oscarville.
Oscarville sounds like a shithole.
Lake Lanier, I think. Yep, I believe that's what it was. Yeah, there was multiple towns. I think it is Lake Lanier, but they were telling me about. Apparently, there's mysterious drownings and disappearances, all kinds of stuff that happen. There's dozens of people that die, just for no good
I wonder if it's
explainable
like
reason.
some bullshit. Because like I doubt like there's just like built this dam and just let the water out and just let everybody figure it out. I doubt that happened.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure like that's like the biggest like I don't like Joe Biden, right?
Not a lot of people do.
But this is one beef I really have is with the exit of Afghanistan. Don't get me wrong, it could have been done a lot better. But I don't think a lot of this is on Joe Biden. It's like, dude, the war has been going on there for 20 fucking years. It isn't like today they just said, oh yeah, we're leaving. You guys knew well in advance on this day we're leaving. So these people that were holding out there that ended up getting got, I think they were there because they're trying to get visas for families and shit like that. You know, and now, don't get me wrong, Joe Biden's a fucking moron and he's a dumb fuck. But I don't believe that this just came out of nowhere. Everybody knew on this date we're exiting. Why the fuck are you still here? You know, get the fuck out of here. There should have been nobody there. You know, so if you're in that town when the fucking water gets turned on, I'm just assuming you've had ample opportunity to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
It's not like they start building a dam outside of your house and you're like, I wonder when that's going to come on. You know, I'm pretty sure it takes a few fucking years to build a big ass dam.
Yeah.
See,
No,
to
this
make
happened
the
a long time
cemetery
ago.
is there.
Yeah, this happened a long time ago.
Yeah, there's an old town in Lake Mead that's like, I don't know if it's put together that good, but
Yeah, apparently there's.
what's that pyramid thing coming out of the water right there? What is that?
Looks like the top of
the
a church.
No shit, go up
God
a little
damn.
more. So that's the top
yeah,
of the church?
Yeah, that's the top of a church.
That's
Oh,
not even
shit.
that deep.
Switch it for. So,
I don't
we
know
can
how to
see
do
it.
it.
You don't know how to do it, man. Y'all need a fucking
That's
a
pretty
lesson.
cool. That's pretty cool though. That's not even that deep though. We're talking.
What are you talking about? That's not that deep,
It's not that big of a church.
bruh. Regardless, you can walk through that, and that's just a pyre. That, like, I guarantee you, down here is where people are walking in it.
Yeah, what's deep to you?
I mean, it's a whole fucking town.
Yeah, but you can flood my neighborhood in 30 feet of water.
Yeah.
That's not that deep.
Compared to it not being 30 feet of
You
water.
can free
that's-
dive, dude. You can an out of weight drunk can hold his breath and swim down to 30 feet and back up. You know, it's not that deep.
30 feet's pretty tall when compared to flooding, drowning was what they call it.
Dude,
a
there's
whole
places
town.
in Lake Mead that's 170 feet deep.
Yeah, that's big too.
That's
but so
deep.
is 30 feet.
30 feet's not deep, bro.
Compared to flooding a whole town, it is.
Dude, if I can hold my breath and swim to the bottom, it's not deep.
If I can be swimming next to the top of a church,
If I
that's deep.
if I can't jump, touch it with my fingers, and count it as a dunk, that's pretty tall.
Okay. All right.
Remember,
I think
anything
it's
you
being-
touch with your fingertips is a dunk.
I think it's being over.
That counts. I skimmed it.
I think it's over sensationalized.
I don't know. I just know that many tons of water landing on my fucking scalp, I don't think it'd feel too good.
Yeah, and that
Personally. I could be wrong.
Hey, you guys want some teriyaki?
Teriyaki would go to Circle.
Saku?
Yeah, I'd like some of that.
Fuck it. Tune in next week, bitches.
Yeah, we'll see you
We'll do-
all you
we'll do,
motherfuckers on the next one.
We'll do a story time on this Pops Man next time.
All right,
I got a
y'all
couple.
look out for that.
I got a
feel me?
couple.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I've got a couple, but I'm on a new show right now, so I got a couple stories right now. I could say.
Yeah, we were hoping that you'd have one for us this week.
I've got a couple that I could, but
Do you want to save them? You gotta think it's a whole nother 7 days. If you want, we can go take a break, come back, and do story time.
we'll go talk. about it.
If you're ready.
We'll go talk.
Yeah.
All right. So
Take a
if
break,
this
let
video
go.
continues, then we got a story time as possible. If
Yeah.
it just ends, then you wait until next week.
Let's go off of a quick synopsis. If you hearing story times of Pops and we all still wearing the same musty ass clothes, then you know for a fact we did come back.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, I got blue shirt, black shirt, white shirt. If it ain't that, then you gonna see us
Or
next
we'll
week.
just make sure we wear the same shirts next
Yeah,
week.
yeah, you know. Yeah, we'll just say it's
You
the same day.
There you go. You won't know if we musty or not.
Yeah. Okay then.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.